in divorce court today. They have been together for 7 years and survived some serious obstacles. But now Joe is convinced Misty has been unfaithful, and she is desperate to stop him from walking out. Misty Maddox and Joe Maddox have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Mrs. Maddox, I believe Mr. Maddox here wants a divorce. He's ready to go. This is your third marriage, and you don't want that to happen. You have some items that you want me to award you if, in fact, he goes forward with it, but right now you're looking to save it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been married 3 times. You say this time the concerns or trust issues between you and Mr. Maddox. Why don't you explain what you believe the problem is?
We would always fight and argue, and when we did, he would always leave and come back a few hours later or else a day later, and I'm just scared that if we stay together, he'll do it again. The first time was he wanted to go to the bar with some friends, family, and I just don't like his friends because they're mainly alcoholics or druggies.
Not a good crowd.
No. And the second time.
Do you run with some ratchet people?
No. No, Your Honor. That time I left, it was before my brother's birthday. And I had asked her if I could go.
Did he ask if he could go?
Yes, he did.
How you gonna not let a man go to his brother's birthday party?
I don't know, I just didn't want him, because I knew it was at a bar. I just had a lot of trust.
You just had a lot of trust issues? Okay.
Yes.
Who got angry first, you or him?
I think I did.
It was you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Y'all calm and smooth in here, quiet, but I bet you can pop off, can't you?
Yes.
What is your concern, Mr. Maddox? Why are you so unhappy that you want to leave?
I just, she said the first time I left, it was, I was trying to go, I wanted to go to my brother's birthday party. The last time I had found text messages on her phone. My kids were telling me that this guy was coming over to the house, and I just didn't feel like she, was respecting me and being respectful.
Who was coming over to the house?
Just friends, guy friends.
Random guy friends? Now you mad, you don't want him to go out to a bar with his close family members, but you got random dudes showing up at your house. How do you work that out in your head?
I don't know. Honor.
Who are these guys? I mean, don't give me names, but just friends.
Just friends that I've known for a long, long time.
Would you have a problem if you were at work and your husband had a whole bunch of chicks come over and hang out?
Yes, I would, Honor.
So why is it okay for you to do?
It's not okay.
Why are you so afraid that this time he's about to leave?
Because every time we would get in a fight, he would always come back. This last time was because I had a guy friend over, but I had a family member over too. And he came home. He told me to have my friend leave or else he was leaving. I didn't think it was right that a friend had to leave. Why couldn't we just all get along and be friends?
So you picked the random dude over the husband, and you said, random dude stay, husband, how dare you tell me who I can have over the house? Huh?
I didn't say that, but I pretty much.
But that's what you did.
Yes.
That's what you
And
did.
it wasn't right, I know.
Is that an accurate recitation of what occurred?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any concrete evidence that Ms. Maddox is actually cheating on you as opposed to simply displaying bad judgment repeatedly?
With that guy, no. I never even accused her of doing anything with him or ever even thought that she was doing anything with him. I just know he is on probation, and I didn't want those type of people around.
In your house?
Yes.
And you have a child at home, right?
We have 3 kids, 1 together.
Yeah, and then in the house, how you gonna let somebody with criminal background in your house with your kids?
He wasn't living there, he was just there though, but.
I understand that this is a reach-back romance. And when I say a reach-back romance, it's this phenomenon. you dated somebody in high school, and you guys are on Facebook, and he pops up out of nowhere, and then, oh, I remember being in love with him. You call him up, you have a couple of good phone calls, you remember a couple of good times, the next thing you know, bam, you're in bed together. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Happens all the time. I mean, it's like Facebook just takes you and reach back in the annals of time and takes an old mistake you made and gets you to make it again. What made you want to rekindle your romance with Mr. Maddox?
Well, he told me to keep on moving on, when he moved out of the house this last time. And he moved in with his mom, and then for about a month, and then he got his own apartment. And I didn't want to move on. I wanted to try and work it with him, but he didn't want to. Finally, one day, he's like, you need to move on. So I moved on. I took the wedding pictures off my walls, took my wedding ring off, and I went on this dating site and met a guy, and I moved him in my house. Then I found him.
How long did you know him before you moved him in the house?
Probably about a month. And then I found out he was a sex offender.
And you booted him immediately, no?
Yes, I did. But then in the middle of that, Joe wanted to work it back out, but I was iffy. This was before I found out he was a sex offender and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm scared that Joe's gonna leave me again, so I was staying with this guy. And then when I found out all of this stuff, he moved out, and then me and Joe started working things out more.
I know exactly what is wrong. I know exactly what the problem is.
Next, have money troubles and jail time become deal breakers for Joe and Misty? If the ink on your marriage license is barely dry, but you're ready to call it quits, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Real relationships in crisis. Divorce Court continues.
Mr. Maddox, you say that the two of you fight continuously over money. Why don't you tell me about that?
I pay every single bill in the house, and when she needs something, you know, I told her, you know, take your money, use your money for what you need to use it for. She runs a daycare out of our house. I told her, I said, you know, you keep your money, daycare money, you use it for your daycare so you can get a building to move the daycare out of our house, so when I get off work, I don't have to come home to a messy house full of kids. You know, and if she needed to buy something, she would use the debit card, go spend, you know, she would put like $100 in the account, come out and come back and with a receipt of like $300.
What kind of stuff does she buy? Does she buy stuff for the household, for her daycare, or is she spending it frivolously?
Sometimes it's clothes, sometimes it's groceries, you know, and I understand groceries, you know, I gotta help pay for groceries too, I understand that, but most of the time when she buys them groceries, it's going towards daycare kids, and our kids are complaining that they don't have any food to eat. You know, even though
Ms. Maddox, is that true?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you feed the daycare kids and not your own?
Well, no, I would feed the daycare kids and our kids, but the money was going to like bikes and stuff for the daycare, and then his money was going to all the bills and for the family. And so, and I had to pay for family members to work for me in the household. And that's why I was trying to get...
You don't need bikes at a daycare if your kids ain't eating. I mean, you can have a good daycare.
They were eating. We were eating.
Don't get me wrong, Your Honor. Our kids, we tell our kids all the time, you're more than welcome to go get whatever you want. But our kids are really picky eaters, and if they don't like it, they're going to starve themselves.
Yes.
Which, you know, I tell them, you know what? Starve yourself. When you get hungry, you'll eat what's cooked.
Yes.
Right. Well, I think that's a good parental attitude. I didn't have that one. It screwed me for years. So I get that. You eat what's served, and you know, you don't get to pick and choose and all of that.
Cook 5 million
I get that. Yeah,
dinners.
We're on the same page with that one. You don't trust your wife, Mr. Maddox.
No, Your Honor.
I kind of know why, but can you give me any specific concerns that you have or incidents that occurred?
Well, like on the first time that I had left, it was my brother's birthday party. You know, that isn't really anything to have to do with trust. But the second time was I found text messages on her phone, you know, sexually explicit text messages, and then I come home from work, and before my wife can even tell me that this guy was here, my kids are telling me that he was there. You know, I don't know if anything happened, and I don't believe anything happened at that time or, you know, has happened. But this last time, I get a text message from Miss Maddox, and she tells me that this guy's here at the house. I tell her, you know, you need to tell him to leave or I'm going to tell him to leave. And she tells me, don't disrespect my friends. And I says, okay, whatever. So I left. Well, left for 2 hours, went over to a friend's house to calm down. You know, I didn't want to go home and beat the crap out of this guy and go to jail.
Hang on, Mr. Maddox. Doesn't what you've done sound just completely out of order?
Yes.
I mean, you must be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. What other track of thinking were you on?
The guy found out where I lived. He was going to the neighbor's house, seen me outside, so he just started coming over and talking to me, and I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen you forever. I mean, nothing was ever going to happen between me and him. It was just...
Yeah, but he was a criminal. And you have a daycare and your own
he's
children.
A criminal. Everybody... Yeah.
No felons can come over my house. You know, just for, and my kids are big still. No felons at the crib.
Everyone I know it's wrong. Everyone I've hung out with, yes, is bad.
Because he's been to jail.
Yes.
But you haven't been back since, have you?
No, Your Honor.
You're not one of the rotators, are you? You went in, say, hey, this is not the place for me, then go back.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm glad about that.
When divorce court continues, is there anything Misty can do to keep Joe from leaving their marriage?
Do you think that Joe's habit of walking out when they argue is good for their relationship? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now, 1-800-282-1991.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
Now, Mr. Maddox, my understanding is you're ready to go. You're ready to bolt.
Yes,
or
Your
do
Honor.
you want to save this marriage?
Yes, Your Honor. I would love to save this marriage. I love this woman dearly.
What is it about her that you love? And pay attention. What is it about her that you love?
I love her personality. I love her caring attitude. I mean, she's a loving mother. You can see that even in daycare kids that aren't even her kids. She takes care of them as if they are her own, and you know, you definitely don't have to worry about any trouble coming to them. But when she's having strangers come into the house that aren't
cool.
Yeah. You know, people that I don't like, or you know, I know who the person is. I've met him, but I'm not copacetic with him, I guess you could say.
I hear you. I wouldn't be either. I don't even know him. Mrs. Maddox, I'm not going to ask you what you love about Mr. Maddox, because I think I already know. What I'm going to ask you is, what was it like for you growing up? Did you have a nice, comfortable...
It was, yeah, until I was about 15. Then my parents got a divorce. And they weren't really lovey-dovey growing up, though.
Yeah.
It was just...
How about your love life before you met Mr. Maddox? Did you do okay with the guys, or what?
Yeah, right after high school, I married my first husband. We were only married for like 6 months. The second one was because I was pregnant. Just got married. He went to prison and got divorced.
Yeah. You know what the problem is here, Ms. Maddox? The problem is you don't value yourself. You are looking for your value in the arms of a man. If you don't have a guy in your airspace at the moment telling you that you're okay, you feel like you're not okay. It is completely imperative that you have a man saying something nice to you, or you just crumble inside because you don't have enough holding you up. Even when your man is at work, you got to have another man in your house telling you that you're okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you broken somewhere inside. There's something that's not stitched up together, because you are a person. You do have value. You are beautiful, but you don't have to have a guy to tell you. But you seem to need to have a guy to tell you, and you don't care what guy it is. It's just any dude, any random cat. It's better than being alone with yourself. And what I think you need to do, it's not the marriage you need to save, you need to save yourself. You need to go into counseling and figure out when it is you decided that you weren't anybody, and how you decided that men, their presence, their sex, their whatever, gives you that value that you lack. And then you got to fix that, because you're never going to be a good wife to him until you can be alone somewhere for 3-4 days and not have a man say something to you, and you still feel strong and able and pretty and with it. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Mr. Maddox, did I get it?
Yes, Your Honor. On the dot.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
I gotta say, you gave me a smile when I found out what you were asking for, because this is the first Obamacare request that I've had, and it's just exciting for me. You said that if he goes, you don't have any health insurance, and you know that Obamacare requires you to have health insurance,
Yes,
and you want to make sure that he pays that health insurance, because it's going to take you 3 months before you get enough to add on, or you'll be subject to that penalty. Delightfully creative. I just enjoyed that. You know, the penalty is so minuscule, however. If I were to award you 3 months of insurance, that would be more than any penalty that you would possibly pay, but I ain't even gonna get there, because you have insurance, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she needs to go see a psychologist, and she's gonna use your insurance to do it, because you're gonna stay with this man, you're gonna keep other men out of your house, and every time you feel the need to have a man in your house, you need to either, 1, get a tape of this and look at it, or number 2, you need to, I don't know, you have a kind of job where you can get called on the job?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't lose your mind with it. Don't blow his phone up. But every time you feel weak and feel the need, you give him a call, you say, you tell her you're beautiful, do all that stuff I train my husband to do when I don't feel good. You know, he's got certain phrases he knows he has to do. There's certain things that has to happen. We both know you know, it's for show, but it's a good show, and I like it. So you figure out what show she needs, because she really loves you. And you really need to understand something, Ms. Maddox. You've been scandalous. And my man here is standing right there. Didn't go nowhere. I mean, I know men who would have left eons ago with the kind of nonsense that you're pulling. That's love. And you know what I mean? That means you have great value. But even if he didn't stay, you still have great value. You with me?
Yes.
You gonna see a psychologist for real?
Yes.
You should. It'll make you feel good. Nothing wrong with it. I got my psychiatrist on speed dial. I feel a little off or confused. Like, hey, you know, something going wrong up here. I want to be the first person to know. So, good luck to you. You're a good guy. Handsome, too.
Yes, he is.
Keep a picture of him on the wall or something, you know, so you can feel together with him even when he's at work. Find out the phrases you need to repeat. You go to a psychologist, and I'm going home. This matter is adjourned.
Real life. Christopher and Tierra met at the restaurant where she worked. She made him wait in line 15 minutes before she gave him her number, and that turned him on. But now, after 4 years of marriage and 3 children, this couple is completely turned off by each other.
I got in bed with her, and it was like I stepped in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like she turned around and hit me and knocked me to the floor.
Christopher Scott came to my job. He came screaming, talking about who that H texting you on Facebook.
Can Christopher and Tiaria flip the off switch back to on again? Or will this be the end of their marriage? Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Christopher Scott and Tiaria Scott. The two of you have been married for 4 years. You have 3 children together, 1, 2, and 6 months old. You are seeking a divorce here today, and Mr. Scott, you're looking for reimbursement from Mrs. Scott for some damage that she's been doing to your life over time, and we will talk about that momentarily. But before we do, I'm going to start with Mrs. Scott. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
Your Honor, I'm so sick and tired of Chris cheating. I went, got on my laptop, logged onto his Facebook, and he was on there writing to another female, talking about how much he wished he was with that family, how much he did not want to be with me, and how much he can do better with her. So another incident was when I was sitting home. I had just had our second child. And I'm sitting at home on Facebook. I see his profile hopping on and offline. I get on his profile and I see a long sheet. Like, it was just so long, it was ridiculous. It was long. It was him and another female text message, and they were like literally having internet sex. When I seen that, I went off. Like, I took all his clothes, threw them out the window, took his phone, took his drawers, everything that was in the room, and burnt it. He put me through so much, Your Honor, I just couldn't take it.
I want to know, were you on Facebook with a woman talking about how you would rather be with her than your wife?
True.
That she is that true or
I
is that
was
not
on
true?
Facebook explaining my situation, why it was wrong, why I shouldn't be in that predicament.
Explaining
I'm a good man to my family.
Hang on. What was your predicament, actually?
I'm a good man to my family. I take care of my kids.
Right.
I take care of my wife.
Right.
But when I don't get that in return, what am I supposed to do? Sit there and look like a dummy?
You take care of us. You take care of us. 3 kids. I was at the house all by myself, waking up every middle of the night, giving them bottles full of milk. I asked him to change them. It's PlayStation. Babe, hold on. I get to him later. I roll him over. Babe, can you wake up? Can you get the kids? No, I'm tired. I got to get to work in the morning.
Mr. Scott?
Your Honor.
2, 1, and 6 months.
Right.
You do understand the magnitude of that gig, right?
Yes.
With all that as background, you tell me why you believe it's okay for you to do the Facebook cheating and the flirting.
Because, Your Honor, I'm dealing with a lot of different issues with her as well.
Okay, tell me what they are.
It's just not me jumping on Facebook. I mean, it's the lack of intimacy at home.
All right, tell me about that.
For example, one time,
lack of intimacy is that?
I got in bed with her, and it was like I stepped in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like she turned around and hit me and knocked me to the floor.
What?
She knocked you
Knocked
out of
me
the bed?
to the floor, out of the bed to the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock him down.
So I grabbed my pillow and blanket and laid in that spot so she could see the results of her actions the next morning. And
Did you knock him out of the bed?
Yeah, I don't care. He deserves
and to be honest with you,
3
Your Honor,
kids and he
I
still
slept
want
better
more?
on the floor.
No.
You want more children?
No, I don't want more children.
No, you don't.
She just said that.
I don't want more children. But like another situation, when I got in the bed just to cuddle, you know,
Right.
trying to be romantic, and I wrapped my arm around her, she jumped up in an irate manner and was like, I had 3 kids, I don't
It's
want any
not
more. I'm like, from a
romantic.
hug?
He don't just hug me or cuddle with me. He get bare butt, booty naked, and stuff all on me. I don't want to be feeling that. Get over, move. Get off the bed.
I understand. She says your body is signaling intent.
I mean, if she didn't like it, we wouldn't be here today.
Right.
You know,
Right. You say your husband doesn't appreciate all that you do.
No, he don't.
Explain that.
He do not appreciate all that I do. I got a job interview. And, you know, to think that he would, you know, okay, babe, you finally got a job. You know, it's 2 years you've been in the house. I'm going to let you do this. He gave me $60. He was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the tank because he used the car that night. I get up to go to the job interview in the morning. It was like at 8 in the morning. I get up to go, and my car stopped on me because you can't tell in the car where the gas range is because it was knocked off. So I'm thinking the car is full, and it cut off on me on the highway. I had to call my grandma. First, I called him. He was like, well, can you call your grandma? Call my grandma for what? You should have put the money in the tank. Like, seriously?
Did you tell her I'm gonna fill it up for you so when you go to this job interview and you didn't do it?
Yes, I did. And for the simple fact, if I would have put the gas in there, she probably would have headed straight to the mall. Rather than where she was supposed to go.
At 8 in the morning.
Mr. Scott, that is the worst answer I have ever heard. Let me say this.
Your Honor.
No matter where she was headed, whether it was somewhere she should have gone or shouldn't have gone, she shouldn't have been put in a position to be stranded. You don't leave women out in the world on a vehicle, on a road, can't get somewhere. If you didn't want her to go, you should have told her, look, baby, I didn't put no gas in the car. Gone ahead and had the argument and left. You don't strand women in the street.
When divorce court continues, what happens in the courtroom that makes Judge Lynn speak out?
What is wrong with you people? This is not how you run life. Everyone warned you about marrying your mate. If divorce is the only solution, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Tierria Scott, who wants to leave her husband of 4 years because she says he's a sex addict. But is she a shopaholic who spends money the family doesn't have?
We left the mall with bags of boots that was $200 and $300.
Your Honor.
Yes.
This man is so cheap. One day we was going Christmas shopping for, we had 2 children at the time, but we was only Christmas shopping for 1, and a couple of our family members. I talked to him about probably a year and some months ago about becoming a Jehovah's Witness. While we're doing Christmas shopping, here he go, babe, I think we should just become Jehovah's Witness right now. All of a
they
sudden,
don't buy Christmas presents.
all of a sudden, come on, you didn't want to go to the hall not once.
I mean, buying Christmas gifts for Tierria is like buying Christmas gifts for the whole state, like the whole country. It's just, it's too much. I would be in debt.
You're saying to me she's high maintenance. Is that what you're telling me?
And it's not high maintenance as far as...
What kind of things does she buy or want that you think are just beyond your means?
For example, it was another situation where I asked for a $65 cell phone. She told me no, because she didn't have enough. But yet we left the mall with bags of boots that was $200 and $300.
You buying $200 and $300 boots?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I like shoes. I like clothes. I like stuff. I do not like being out here looking like a has-been. Period.
Do you have enough money for all of that?
I have enough money. He don't have enough money, but I have enough money.
Yeah, I mean, you're having trouble filling up the tank. Everybody wear this and that, and you got $200 shoes. Does something about that sound a little inconsistent to you?
No, it don't sound consistent.
You just what?
I just think, I feel I deserve nice stuff. And if he's not giving it to me, then I got to get it on my own.
You know, I think I deserve an entire private island. I really do. I work hard, I did this, and I deserve a yacht and an airplane, all of that. But I can't have it because I can't afford it. And you can't, we all deserve stuff we can't afford, and you've got to know the difference between the two. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I'm just going to leave that there.
It's just, I settle on some things, but I don't settle on all.
You say Mr. Scott has a very bad temper. Explain that to me.
One day, Christopher Scott came to my job acting irate because somebody texted me on Facebook. He came screaming, talking about who that H texting you on Facebook. Why you talking to him? Why you being like this? Why he get the attention that I don't get? My boss came and was like, excuse me, sir. He talking about, what you talking about excuse me for? I'm handling something with my wife. Can you get on? No, he can't get on. That's my boss, and you in his place.
Well, for the simple fact...
Mr. Scott, did that in fact happen?
Yes, Your Honor, it did.
You got up there and clowned on her job?
Yes.
Okay.
I was so embarrassed.
Did they put you out?
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually, they put you out. What did you think that was going to achieve? I mean, because you could have gotten her fired, right?
I quit.
True.
You quit the job.
I was so embarrassed. I could have fell on the floor and had a seizure and not been so embarrassed.
You quit because you were embarrassed?
Yes, it was so embarrassing.
What is wrong with you people? This is not how you run life.
This coming from a mother.
Just drilled into me, you get a gig and you keep a gig, and if you, before you leave that gig, you make sure you have 2 more lined up. I mean, you can't, because you're embarrassed?
Yeah, I was too embarrassed. It wasn't no, how can I go back to work with that?
Well,
like,
what are you going to write
he
when
might
the
have
rent
did it again.
comes? I don't have it because I was embarrassed. You going to send that in?
I had backup for that month.
For that
that month?
month? Oh my God.
When divorce court continues, has Tieria's obsession with shopping crossed the line?
I go to check the mailbox. I have a bill off my credit card for $400.
Now, Miss Scott, did you take the man's credit card?
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Christopher Scott, who claims that his wife is bleeding his bank account dry, and find out if Christopher is doing everything he can to help his marriage.
You really don't come across a man to tell his wife, you don't have to work, I will take care of all the bills, and actually do it. I've done it for 3 years. And I'm tired of it now because it's like I'm getting taken advantage of.
Well, how is she taking advantage of you? Explain.
With the extra shopping, and it's like, okay, if I'm at work, she asks me for money, I'm not there to see what she's getting.
Right.
You know, and then it's like she's very secretive when she does things. For example, one day, she snuck into my wallet, took my credit card, left. I didn't know where she went. I didn't want to hound her. I stayed at home with my kids.
He didn't want to hound me.
She came back home a couple hours later. She ran so fast in the room, she forgot to close the front door. I'm looking, waiting on somebody else to come in. Nobody's coming. I'm like, okay, are you done? She comes back downstairs smiling. I'm like, well, what's going on? Didn't say anything. So a couple days later, I go to check the mailbox. I have a bill off my credit card for $400. And I'm like, well, where did this come from? I confronted her about it. She just laughed.
He got something out of it. Don't act like you ain't getting nothing out of it.
So,
now, Miss Scott, did you take the man's credit card?
It's our credit card. It's the joint card. It's not just his. If I feel like I want to use it, yes, because he broke mine.
Okay. She said joint.
He tore yours up?
He broke mine, so yeah, I did take his out of his wallet.
Joint.
Break. That's an odd word used. He tore it up.
Yeah, he just cracked it.
Because he was tired of what you were spending.
I don't know what he was tired of. Then he reported the card stolen.
Huh?
He reported it stolen when I was going shopping that day. That's why I didn't tell him what I got. Yeah.
That was cold-blooded. You know
what I have to do. I gotta think about my kids
and all, but that was cold.
I gotta think about my kids. So I handle business as a man. I take care of my family.
And stuff
right?
Because of me.
And I appreciate that, because everyone doesn't come in here and do that. And I appreciate the fact that you do that. I guess my question to you is, is that the only job that you believe you have with respect to your wife and 3 children?
Yeah,
honestly, that's how I feel. That's all I live for is my family, my wife and my kids.
No, that's not the question that I asked you. So listen to what I'm asking. Do you believe that supporting them financially is your sole job with respect to them? Or are there other things that a husband and father needs to do to fulfill his obligations?
Yes, I do them. I care for them, I love them, and I show it. Like when my kids get sick, I'm the one sitting up with them all night, take them to the doctor.
Do you and your wife do anything together?
No.
Explain why.
He don't want to do anything with me.
Because if I tell her, let's go to the movies, why? So we can get home and have sex again? I'm like, come on. I'm just trying to be nice.
Sex with him.
I'm trying to be nice.
We could be eating. I know I'm gonna get lucky tonight. No, you ain't gonna get lucky.
When divorce court continues, will Tieria have to pay up for cutting up?
She bleached my clothes, then burnt them right after.
When did she do that?
One of them cases when she got mad.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Christopher and Tiaria Scott, who have 3 children together and are seeking a divorce after 4 years of marriage.
Tell me about the $3,000 you want, Mr. Scott.
Well, I wanted $3,000 for her burning my clothes. I had to, go and get a whole new wardrobe. And
What did she...
she bleached my clothes, then burnt them right after.
When did she do that?
One of them cases when she got mad and...
I got mad after that internet sex on Facebook.
And
Could you really blame me? Like,
She could have
come
left
on.
me an outfit at least to go,
What for?
I had to go.
Go in your work clothes.
I mean-
Go somewhere in your work clothes. 'Cause
Okay.
That's just how you made me feel.
I got it. Here's where we are. Mr. Scott, I'm gonna tell you this. I think you are suffering from, if I'm making the money, I do nothing else. That's it and that's all. Being a husband and a father involves a lot of stuff. And part of it involves making her feel wanted and special. Some women shop to fill up that home. I don't know if that's what she's doing, but it sounds like she's doing cathartic shopping, that she needs to, I deserve. When you hear that, I deserve, it means I'm unfulfilled, I'm unhappy, so I'm doing this to make myself okay. If she's more okay with you at home or whatever, and you pay that attention, she might be less likely to shop. Then on the other hand, some women just high maintenance and like to shop too much.
I'm not high
and
maintenance.
hang on, and need to pull it back because they can't afford it, which may be what you're doing. So each of you has to look at what they're doing. 1, 2, and 6 months. I mean, what a job. What a job. And you guys got married when you were, 19 and 23?
Yes, ma'am.
18 and 23, you were children yourselves. I think you two need to fight through this and get to the other side. You're not old enough and you haven't been together long enough to know how to get past where it gets ugly. You two get off the Facebook. It's a nice place to be if you can handle it, but it's like crack out there for some people. If you can't handle it and all these, just get off. Get off for the babies. You don't need to be on there anyway. You got somebody 2, 1, and 6 months. All your time should be sucked up anyway.
That's how
so
you know you
shouldn't
got too
have
much
that kind of time. You know what I mean? They need a whole lot of attention. They need a whole lot of care. They need a whole lot of direction. You spend your time doing that, and they need a whole lot of money too. They don't $200 boots. You can't afford it. So concentrate on that, okay? Now you're not gonna leave, are you?
No, ma'am.
You're not gonna leave,
I'm
are
leaving.
you? Well, if you do leave, you owe him $3,000 because you cannot burn people's property. It is vandalism, it is against the law, and it cannot be supported. $3,000 in favor of Mr. Scott. It is so ordered.
Thank you.
All rise.
And to
You lost a baby. You miscarried.
It's been a rough road back. He was working really hard when I was pregnant. He was taking good care of us. But once we lost the baby, things just fell off.
Mr. Goodlett, what has changed since she lost the baby? What's different and how are you different?
she's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toler on Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life. When Lauren and Raheem met at a party 4 years ago, they felt an instant love connection, and their relationship was great until she miscarried their first baby 6 months ago. Now their relationship has become unmoored, and they aren't sure if they can rekindle that loving feeling.
It's been some rough times, but in the last 6 months, things have just deteriorated to a place where I don't even know what to do with him anymore. If we can't reconcile things, I don't know how we're going to move forward in this relationship.
My girl, she's always going through these mood swings, and I want to make sure that we can get past this. Over the last few months, things have been rough.
Both Lauren and Raheem say they still love each other with all their hearts, but will love be enough to get them to the altar? Today on Divorce Court Before Your Vows.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding. You may be seated.
This is the case of Lauren Pacelli versus Raheem Goodlett. The two of you have been engaged for 4 years. You're here because you don't know whether or not you should get married, and you would like my opinion on the matter. You have a marriage license, and you have given me your permission to tear it up if I feel that the marriage is ill-advised. But before we've done that, I've given you compatibility tests, which were interesting, and I also want to talk to you a little bit about your relationship. So I'm going to start with you, Ms. Pacelli, and why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're worried about whether or not you should marry.
Okay. Well, my goody bear and I, we've been together for 4 years.
Goody bear?
My goody bear.
All right.
That's my man. And I love him with all of my heart, Your Honor, absolutely. But he's always been, one of the biggest issues is that he's been challenged in the world of employment, shall we say. You know, the work is there. Sometimes it's steady, sometimes it pays well, sometimes it's not there at all. Like early on in our relationship, he was working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. It wasn't the most glamorous job, but it was steady, and he was making all right money, and it was good. So I called over there one day because I was supposed to run some errands for him in the afternoon. I wanted to check in with him, make sure everything was all right. I called the place up, and the guy on the line tells me, oh, goody, he hadn't been here in 2 weeks. And he'd been getting up every day and coming home like he'd been at work.
Mr. Goodlett, were you going out and pretending that you were at work and you had actually quit?
Yeah, I had quit. The thing was, I felt like the job was very demeaning.
Demeaning,
You know,
it was a job.
I'd stay for all hours of the night. Everybody else from the kitchen, from the whole restaurant is gone. I'd be there till 4 o'clock in the morning washing dishes.
Right.
You know, I get these blisters on my hands.
Right.
And,
He's so
and you know, and I just felt like I wasn't making enough money.
Right,
So,
It's not about demeaning, it's about the money. It may not be what you wanted, but until you get what you want, it's what you have, so you deal with that so you can continue to get better, right?
Yeah, well, I'm an ambitious person anyway, so I'm always going to go out there and look for more and seek more. So that's what I did.
Don't give up what you have before you seek more. But
Well,
anyway, Ms. Pacelli, go forward. What else is the problem?
You want to talk about degrading. Okay, so right now, he is selling incense. You know, like you walk through New York City and there are guys on the corner selling their incense and their soap and their CDs. That's my boo.
Incense, soap, and CD.
Yeah, whatever's on the table that day, you know?
You selling incense, soap, and CD?
Yeah, you know, I got the incense. I'm out there hustling my frankincense, and you know, I got my soaps, my black soaps. You know, you got some nice skin. That black soap will work wonders on you.
You see?
Oh, so this is for women of color.
This is for
Soap
women of
for
color.
Women of
Yeah,
color.
I work uptown in Harlem.
And then CDs.
There's mixtapes, you know. I got Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, stuff you might like.
But, Mr. Goodlett, I will tell you this: at least you got some people who actually can carry a tune and got a melody.
Yeah.
You know, Teddy and all that, not a hippity rippity rock.
Yeah.
Rhyming some words. I'll give you props for good taste in music, Mr. Goodlett. Now listen, he's getting his hustle on, right? And some men are meant to work for themselves.
Right.
Maybe he's that guy. Does he bring home money from his hustle?
He does. He's certainly going to always claim perhaps a little bit more than what he actually brings home.
Well, how much does he bring home any given week?
He says he always tries to make his quota $100 a day. Every day he's supposed to be bringing home $100 from his hustle.
And does he?
Not every day, no.
Yes, I do.
Well, do you work?
No, you don't. Yes, ma'am, I do.
And
I do.
What do you do?
I am the office manager at a holistic wellness center.
Okay,
See, I
that's
got
a good job.
Respectable title. I'm only working part-time, I admit.
She don't make no money there.
I don't make no money.
She don't make
When
no
you
money.
say no money, how much is no money?
I mean, she brings home these little punk checks for like $250. I make at least $500-600 a week going out there with my hustle. She's always knocking me for my hustle, but yet she's bringing home less money than me.
But Your Honor.
How you gonna knock him for his hustle, hustle if he's bringing home more money?
Okay, my coworkers, people I work with at my office, they saw my babe on the corner with his hustle. They come to me like, what, is he homeless? What's going on? Why is he out there on the street like that? What's he doing? How am I supposed to show him respect?
I don't think you should be embarrassed by that, you know.
You show him respect because Daddy came home with some money.
Thank you.
That's what you get respect for. You don't have to worry about what your friends think.
When divorce court before your vows continues, can Lauren recover and save her relationship with Raheem?
You know, we used to have tons of sex and all of that. Now she's like, she lays around, she's wearing these frumpy clothes. It wasn't like that before. you know? And I feel it's because of the loss of our baby, you know?
Do you wish you had listened to your mother? Are you ready to dump your mate? If you are, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com and become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court Before Your Vows is back with the case of Lauren Pacelli, who says she's having second thoughts about marrying her boyfriend of 4 years because he doesn't have a steady job. But are the couple's divergent backgrounds the real cause of their growing estrangement?
Does your family not like her, and why don't they like her? Mr. Goodland, why don't you tell me what it is about Ms. Pacelli that has you concerned with respect to the option of marriage?
Well, you know, we used to have tons of sex and all of that. Now she's like, she lays around, she's wearing these frumpy clothes. Like, she doesn't initiate any contact. It's all one-sided on that, and it wasn't like that before, you know? And I feel it's because of the loss of our baby, you know?
You know, you lost a baby. How long ago?
It's about 6 months ago.
6 months ago, you miscarried. And since then, the intimacy has decreased.
There have been issues, yeah.
Is it emotional issues as well? I mean, is it just not an intimacy thing? It's just you feel badly.
It's been a rough road back.
Right.
You know, I didn't even think that I could get pregnant, so.
You were surprised and happy.
I was surprised that it even happened.
Right.
And he was working really hard when I was pregnant. He was taking good care of us. But once we lost the baby, you know, things just fell off. And you know, I haven't felt like the sexiest woman in the world or whatever.
Right.
Money's tight, and we always have these issues, and he's out all the time since I miscarried. Like, he used to go out and it was cool, but now he's out almost every night. Mr.
Goodland, what has changed since she lost the baby? What's different, and how are you different?
Just her moods, you know, I've changed a lot too, because, you know, that really hurt me a lot, but I was able to get past it, I guess a little quicker than her. And I try to encourage her, I try to be compassionate.
He tells me to get over it. To get over it.
You tell her to get over it.
Baby, we gotta get over this. We gotta get over this.
It's been months, you know, I want her to get back on track. Try to do things for her that might make her happy. You know,
such as?
Like I bought her, you know, a little lingerie bustier with the edible panties and stuff like that.
Well, that was for you.
No, that was for us. That was for us.
Edible?
You know, I'm a big guy. I like my candy.
Right.
You know, so I try to get her nice things that, you know, to get the spark back.
I'm classy. Do I look like I'm gonna be wearing stuff that's gonna melt underneath my clothes? I know.
You're not supposed to look like anything. You're just supposed to be with
I think you were just hungry, my love.
I was.
Before I get to the part I want to get to, you both have trouble with your families, respectively. Why don't you start me out, Mr. Goodland? Does your family not like her, and why don't they like her?
I don't think it's the fact that they don't like her. They
call me Snow Bunny.
No.
They call me Snow Bunny.
Do they call her Snow Bunny?
Yeah, they call her Snow Bunny.
And he giggles. He giggles.
I spoke to them about it. You know, it was kind of funny. She looked like a snow bunny. You know,
on a particular day.
Yeah, on a particular day.
Did she have a bunch of white fur on or something?
Yeah, she had on a parka or something. Like she came from the mountain.
Okay, she looked like a snow bunny.
Yeah. So
was it a term of endearment?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They do not like me.
Okay, you weren't even gonna go out like that.
No, they do not like me.
But it was funny at the time, and she blew up off of that.
Okay. Does your family like him?
Not particularly, no.
What don't they like about it?
Well, you know, I come from a very old school Italian background. They believe in working very hard, and they also don't believe in mixed race relationships. So that's an issue that we have. But I think that, you know, my people would probably get over the fact that, you know, we're mixed if he were a little more respectable in terms of his employment and maybe being around the house instead of me going over to my family's home and crying into my coffee about he was out last night, I feel like he doesn't want to talk to me, where is he, why can't I get a hold of you? You know, if I didn't have to bring that to my family, they might...
Let me say this. No. Let me say this. A key to in-law wrangling. Don't go to your in-laws and tell them what you don't like about your man, because that's all they see. Because when something good happens, boy, he really threw it down last night in bed, you don't call mama and tell her that. All she gets is the bad stuff.
Your
the
Honor,
good
they call
stuff
me a
they don't
deadbeat.
hear. So they get a really negative picture of him. Don't go like that.
When Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues, what does Lauren say to have Judge Lynn singing her praises?
Mrs. Pacelli, just when I had lost hope for all of humanity, you show up here and knock it out of the park.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court Before Your Vows returns with the case of Raheem Goodlett, who says his relationship with his girlfriend of 4 years hasn't been the same since she miscarried their baby 6 months ago. But is her nagging really what's bringing this relationship down?
I never understood the blowing up the phone part. If he doesn't answer at 12:01, why call him at 12:05, 12:07, 12:10, 12:15? I don't understand that. Here's the time in the Before Your Vows session that I ask the stupidest question in the world. But I'm going to do it anyway just 'cause. I'm going to look at you and give you 60 seconds to give me the best and hardest sell on why you two should marry and what it is about him that makes him the guy you want to commit your life to. Sell it like a job. Go.
I love Goody with all my heart, and out of every man I've ever been with, I know that underneath all his hustle and his swag, he is nothing but one giant heart. When I am in his arms, I feel like the whole world could tumble down around us, and we'd still be able to hang on to each other. And that means more to me than pretty much anything else, like beyond the money, beyond the baby, beyond everything. You know, we have a connection, and we have from the get. We have from the get.
Mrs. Pacelli, just when I had lost hope for all of humanity, you show up here and knock it out of the park. God bless you. Now, wait a minute. The bar has been set high. You cannot come up light.
Okay.
So you now, did I give you 90 seconds or 60?
60.
60
Don't give him
seconds
extra time.
to tell me why she's the light of your life.
She's the light of my life because, you know, the way I met her was on my birthday, and that's my boobie. You know, we go out, we do things. She's just a great person to be around. She's very understanding for the most part. You know, I didn't really expect to have anybody.
Don't drift. Don't drift.
I didn't really expect to have anybody come into my life and love me the way that she has. You know, for the most part, she does understand my hustle. She understands that I want to get up and make our situation better. You know, and I really respect that. You know, she's a really good girl. You know, she tries her best at home, and I love her to death.
I'm gonna give you a B-.
B minus.
Okay?
I'm taking B.
Which is better than most people do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was better than most people do.
When Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues, just where is Raheem?
You don't have to blow my phone up. Maybe I'm busy doing something at the moment.
But what are you doing?
Yeah,
Where are you that you can't answer
What
your
are you
phone?
busy with?
You know, I could be
Who
talking
are
to
you
somebody
busy
I'm trying
with?
to make a sale to.
At 4 a.m.
Divorce Court Before Your Vows returns with the case of Lauren Pacelli and Raheem Goodlett, who have been dating for 4 years and have come before Judge Lynn to see if they should marry.
What does he need to change in order for you to say I do?
Well, he could start by answering his phone.
I do answer my
You
phone
do not
all
answer
the
your
time.
phone. He's got.
Are you
Your
blowing
Honor,
his
she
phone
calls
up?
all the time.
He's got
Are you
3.
blowing his phone up?
She's blowing my phone
When
up.
he's out till
I'm
4
there
in the
talking to
morning
people.
and I don't hear boop peep from him, yes, I am blowing up his phone. He's got 3 of them, all pay as you go.
I never understood the blowing up the phone part. If he doesn't answer at 12:01, why call him at 12:05, 12:07, 12:10, 12:15? I don't understand that. What you need to do is when he can't find you, talk to him when he gets back, not when you're angry, and say, look, I didn't know where you were. It concerned me. I thought it was disrespectful. Can we make a way that you can call me, tell you where you are, and work something out? That's what you do.
With a man.
And then as a man, of honor and respect. What would you say in response to a request like that?
I'm fine with it. Like I tell her, I don't have a problem answering my phone.
Yes,
it's just
you do.
sometimes I can't answer my phone, and I always tell you I will call you back when the opportunity is right. You don't have to blow my phone up. Maybe I'm busy doing something at the moment.
But what are you doing?
Yeah,
Where are you that you can't answer
what
your
are you
phone?
busy with?
You know, I could be talking to somebody I'm trying to make a sale to, or whatever.
At 4 a.m.?
No, not at 4 a.m. You know, at 4 a.m. I'm probably asleep at my mother's house.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, boo-boo, I'm sorry. 3 nights a week, you come home at 4 in the morning. Oh, boo-boo, I fell asleep on my boy's couch. We were watching a movie. Oh, boo, I had to help my mama. I had to this, I had to...
What do you expect to change when you get married? What are you looking to accomplish by saying I do?
Well, first thing I'm looking to accomplish is spend the rest of my life with her. You know, I really feel like the problems that we're going through are not too heavy to the point where I wouldn't want to marry her.
Right.
You know, I would like.
I'm gonna tell you something. I like you people. I like you people a lot.
Thank you.
I see what you like in him, and I see what you like in her. I respect your hustle.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be comfortable with it on an ongoing basis just because that's the kind, you know, I'm not a secure individual, but I respect your hustle. I think you could do more than what you're doing with your hustle. I think you're a capable guy. Don't get comfortable with the corner. That's all I'm asking.
Please.
You take what you've got, and you've got a lot, and move forward with it. You got to respect his hustle because he's hustling more than you. You know, money is what money is. It doesn't come tagged with it, but he got it on the corner. It still pays the bills just like anything else.
No, I know.
You need to get, if you're not comfortable with your particular position, you need to get further employed.
All right, okay.
Don't I say that all the time?
You got to come to the table with it. You can't just point across and say, I'm uncomfortable. You have to do something about it yourself. And I'm telling you to do all this.
All right.
I'm telling you to love each other. I'm telling you to work harder. I'm telling you to have a conversation. I'm telling you to answer the phone. I'm telling you to don't blow up his phone because it'll help you out when you do ultimately get married, which I really hope you do. Good luck to both of you. This matter is adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Today on Divorce Court.
I'm here today to see Judge Lynn because I need some help with motivating my boyfriend to get a better job and help out around the house.
Randall is frustrated I'm not bringing in as much money as I used to.
The video games are like, I come home from work, he's on the game. Before I left that morning, he was on the game. So it's kind of just like, well, what are you doing all day?
Randall used to be very understanding. Now she doesn't listen to me.
The lack of attention, the playing the game all day, I feel like I'm just turned off.
I do see myself being with Randall for the rest of my life because she is the one for me.
I would like the judge to tell William today to put his household first.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Randall Horton and William Pyburn. The two of you have been together for 4 years. You don't have any children together. You have a child by a previous relationship. However, you are presently 3 months pregnant. Is that accurate? You are concerned. You're pregnant with this baby, but you have some issues, and you want me to help you resolve those issues. So, Ms. Horton, I'm going to ask you, what's going on?
So what's going on, Judge, is I need some help with getting William back determined how he was when we first got together. We're having a few communication issues as well.
Tell me about how you met and how you got together.
So we met online. It took a couple months for me to actually give into his communication or his reaching out.
A couple of days, so 60 days. 60 days in, what'd you do?
Well, that was actually after we had already begun the relationship. So it wasn't exactly 60 days after, but we had sex 60 days after we decided to make it official. We moved into the same house together, and first it was good. First, everything was good. We were both working full-time jobs. We both had a vehicle. And
I bet Dracula is fun a couple of nights. Not that you're Dracula, but I'm just saying, everybody says it was good, so we moved in. You don't know nothing yet. It's his hormones talking to your hormones. It's always good when the hormones are talking, but go ahead.
So we moved in together, and then things started to happen. The first big situation was the first car accident. It was probably a 1.5 years into our relationship. That first car wreck caused a lot of issues as far as
There it is.
Getting back and forth to work.
Yeah.
We had to get on the bus for about a month and a half, and then we got back into another car. We were able to get back and forth to work.
Is it your fault?
No, it wasn't.
It was the other guy's fault?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we continued to get back on track. Things were good. Probably about a couple months later, maybe 5 or 6 months later, he had another car wreck. That car wreck was a lot worse. It was so bad that his hip was broken. They had to do surgery on his hip. He was out of work for a while, and then basically the company that he was working for, they wanted doctor's notes back and forth. We had got all the paperwork together. We took it in. They wanted more paperwork. So going back to the doctor cost money. We couldn't afford it. He lost that job as well.
Oh, man. Was that your fault, that accident?
The last one, no, it wasn't either.
No, you just got bad luck on the road.
Yes, I do.
How has he responded since then? What's your call? Because anybody could have, if it's not your fault, I mean, if he's out around wrecking cars because he can't drive, that's one thing, but that's not what's happening to him. So what's the problem?
So the problem for me, Judge, is it seems like his determination and his motivation has took a downfall. The beginning of our relationship, he worked a full-time job. I would literally have to beg him, hey, can you take a day off so we can spend time together? Now, in my opinion, he's complacent with working 3 or 4 days a week.
3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Mr. Pyburn, have you lost your passion for making money?
No, ma'am. So what's going on, the wrecks kind of set me back. I wasn't able to move around like I was.
Right.
So that's what kind of messed that up.
How long have you been recovered from the last one?
That happened about 4 months ago, so I've been recovered fully probably about 3 months. It took
3
me
months,
a month.
okay. Are you looking for a full-time job?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Is he?
He is.
You say that he had agreed to split everything 50-50, but that's not what's happening.
Yes. So we had a conversation. Basically, we both go half and half on everything. Bills, cleaning, cooking, everything. As of right now, I don't feel like that's what's happening. As far as the cooking aspect goes, before I leave for work in the morning, I try my best to make sure that he's situated as far as food, having something to do at home. And then when I get home, it's like the house is how I left it. So that's really becoming an issue as far as what happens to the 50-50. I'm doing my 50, but I'm not
You're not doing your 50. Mr. Pyburn, what is your response to that? Is that true?
It is true. It doesn't happen all the time, though.
But it happens most of the time, some of the time?
I say some of the time.
Some of the time.
Because it might be one day I was doing something at the house, or I was out and about and couldn't do it. So that's the reason the house wasn't clean. But as soon as we, get to the house, or I get to the house, I'm trying to get on that.
But what are you doing as opposed to cleaning? Because you're home all day. What you doing?
Well, see, I'm not home all day. Maybe I'll go. She might need me to go do something, so I'm out and about.
Yeah, it's called running errands. You're talking to a woman who's grown. I know how to run an errand, go to grocery store, go to drugstore, go to get some eyeglasses, come back, hit Target, come home, clean up, make a meal. I know, just you ain't telling me nothing. They don't take all day to run errands. You just not handling your weight at the crib.
True.
What's he doing instead?
Playing Fortnite.
Mr. Pyburn, is that your favorite game?
No, it's not.
Which is your favorite game?
Call of Duty.
Okay. How much of your day is spent playing either one of those games?
I say about 3-4 hours a day.
3 or 4 hours a day. What do you say?
So, Judge, I disagree. I go to work sometimes 8 or 10 in the morning. When I leave in the morning, the first thing he does is he get on the game. I'll call him probably 4 hours into my work shift, and I'm like, hey, babe, what are you doing? I'm playing a game. Or I can hear the microphone in the background.
Right.
When I get home, 7 or 8 o'clock, he's on the game. So I'm kind of just like, for me, I'm thinking, well, you play the game the whole 8 to 10 hours that I'm working, so.
Mr. Pyburn, is that accurate?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm not playing the whole 8 hours. Like I say, 3 or 4 hours a day, and that's why she's at work. I mean, if I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, well, you do have something to do. You're just not doing it. You see what I'm saying? Before you pay 3 or 4 hours of game, you need to have the house clean and food made.
Like I said, this doesn't happen every day, though. Yeah. And I have been trying to change.
But everybody eats every day. You know what I mean? Everybody eats every day.
Yes, ma'am.
And she goes to work, not some days, but every day. So, you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Not only is it taking up your time, I understand it's also taking up a bit of your money, and I want to talk about that.
Sometimes I do want to chill.
Sometimes I want to chill. You're paying this game at least 4 hours a day. Isn't that chill enough? You're killing me. Ms. Horton, you say his gaming costs money. What are the costs entailed?
So, of course, he has to pay for the game console.
But that's a one-time thing.
Right.
Right.
He has to pay for the controller. Now, the continuous
That's a one-time thing.
Yes. So the continuous things are the skins out of the video game. He buys
the
skins. Yes, like the clothing for the characters.
Oh, they charge you for the clothes?
They do.
Do they have like a video rack? And you go through them and I want to put them in jeans, or?
From what I understand, it's more like they'll upgrade the game and then they release different
new outfits.
Right.
Is it like spandex? What are we talking?
Nah, it ain't spandex. It's just
outfits.
Yeah.
How often do you have to upgrade outfits?
Just whenever you want to.
Whenever you feel like it. How often do you upgrade your outfit?
I've did that twice. Twice.
And how much does it cost to upgrade your outfit?
Oh, $10.
$10?
Yeah.
You only spent $20 on that? Is that true?
No, I disagree with that.
Now turn around and look at what we got up there. Do you agree with the costs as we have them itemized? Because this is what she gave us.
Yeah.
Yeah. pretty much how it goes. Pretty much how it goes. I understand in your paperwork that you turned down, you used to be working $16 an hour. They offered you a job at $8 and you took it down.
Yes, I did.
Why?
They were offering me $8 an hour. I feel like I could find something better than that.
Did you?
Yes. But
the one you have now?
Yes.
But it's only part-time?
Yes.
So you're making less money anyway. Is she complaining about this stuff at home?
Yes, she does.
Tell me where she's getting it wrong. You say she's a constant nag about it and that she wants 100% of your time. Explain it from your point of view.
It's just sometimes when I'm playing the game, when I'm doing what I do, sometimes she does.
Doing what I do? What do you do when you do what you do?
I chill at the house, probably just relaxing. I don't go out like that.
You know what's burning her? She's working every day, she's cleaning and she's cooking, and you chilling. You chilling and shooting and buying skins. And that's irritating. Do you see why she's upset?
I do. I do.
How many words does he say at home?
He talks a lot at home.
He talks a lot at home?
He does.
What do you have to say about her attitude about what you do?
I just want her to kind of understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes I do want to chill.
Sometimes I want to chill. You're paying this game at least 4 hours a day. Isn't that chill enough?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You're killing me. You're just killing me. You know that, don't you? I want to talk about now the problems that we have with family members. I understand she puts you on sexual timeout if you don't clean the house. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
So how does that conversation go? What would you do if your partner played video games for over 25 hours per week? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. So, Ms. Horton, why don't you tell me about the problems you've had with his family?
So there was a little bit that we had to move in with one of his family members. To be honest, I'm not really too sure what the issue was or what I may have did to this particular family member, but I was called out of my name. I addressed it with William, and he addressed it with that family member, and we still didn't get a resolution or the reason as to why I was called out of my name.
Mm-hmm. Is it just a one-time thing?
No.
Oh, they just don't like you?
Apparently not.
Mr. Pyburn, does your family not like her? Not that you're responsible for that, but we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
I think it was just an agreement that they had. Like, at the moment, it was attitudes going at it, 3 bad attitudes going at it, so.
Was that all 3 women?
Yes. So,
I'm not talking about my own kind. I was just guessing.
But, yeah, they just got into a heated argument. It got kind of bad, so that's...
Yeah.
I don't think they don't like her.
It was just a messy situation.
Yeah.
And when a whole bunch of folk in one house and, you know, people get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. You can't get mad at them about that. I understand she puts you on sexual timeout if you don't clean the house. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
So how does that conversation go?
It's basically she come inside. When she come inside, she see that I haven't maybe cleaned the dishes or I'm still on my game. It's irritating her in that way. So that's when she just shuts all the way down.
Nothing for you this evening.
Yeah, shuts all the way down. I might talk to her probably 3-4 hours after that, but she don't want to just talk to me about it.
I got you. Did a family member of yours pull a knife on her?
Yes.
Tell me about that. Well, I might ask her because I don't get a full story from. Ms. Horton, what happened when someone pulled a knife on you?
So basically, I had just come in from work. I hopped in the shower. As I'm taking a shower, I hear this young lady, she's just talking, well, she's not watching the baby, this and that. So I kind of just let it fly by. I get out the shower, I get dressed, and she's still talking. So I'm like, hey, you know, I just got off of work. What's the problem? And it kind of just escalated from there. She's like, well, I wasn't talking directly to you.
I was talking about you.
Right. So she's like, stay in your place, this and that. So it just kind of got heated. So I go in the room, and William is outside. He walks in just in time. So she basically runs to the kitchen. She grabs a knife, and she's coming back down the hallway towards me to the bedroom that we sleep in. So I just basically told Will, I said, hey, you have a decision to make. Either I'm out of here or you fix it. So that night, it was probably around 10:30, almost midnight. He was like, pack your stuff, we're leaving. So I packed my things, he got his things. He took us to a extended stay. I had no idea what his plans were. Probably about 7 days later, we moved into an apartment.
I have so much to say about so many things, I don't know where to start. What would make you withhold sex from your partner? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. You are what I call ill, I-L-L. You're acting in lieu of life. In lieu means instead of. The game becomes the center of your focus and not life. So you're acting in lieu of life. You're doing something other than living. We're gaming, we're Facebooking, we're social media, and we're all stuck on this little bitty screen, and the life that we could be living is just not happening. It's so easy to clean the house, take a half hour to clean the house, make a little, and then go to the game. But that game calls you so much that you're doing that instead of what you need to hold down a woman who is working full-time, who is pregnant with your baby. How can you feel okay about playing a game when the woman that you love is holding you down? You know what I mean? I don't understand how, to me, that's an illness. It's in lieu of life, and people don't know games are what you do after you take care of your business, after you handle your stuff. It's not what you do instead. I don't see how you could have your woman out there pregnant, working full-time, and you not full-time looking for a job. Don't get it, don't understand it. Mrs. Horton, don't be moving in with people after a couple of months. Don't get pregnant with a guy you don't really know. And you got to be, it's not just her job not to have children. It's your job, too. You keep traveling like this, you're going to have so much child support on you, you won't be able to breathe. And when you're not in the home with the children that you're with, you don't have that day-to-day access and importance to them. You know what I'm saying? And you're on a game instead. Holy cow. Get off the game. Grow up. Go full man on this thing. Because you're showing up a kid, and it's so untenable as a community for guys to show up a kid. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Protection, 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 protection. I mean it for both of you, but you're the one who gets stuck if the thing goes south. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Guard your genetics like it's gold, because it is. You just can't jump into anybody else's gene pool. He could be a fool, you don't know. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
This matter is adjourned.
Competition can be fierce in the game called love. But what happens when your competitor leaves behind a legacy that is etched into your partner's heart? On today's show, Mr. Jackson is here to find out if Ms. Hawkins can make room for a new love, or if it's time to hang up the gloves and admit defeat. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Jackson versus Hawkins.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jackson, you opened this case today because you fear your girlfriend, Ms. Hawkins, isn't ready to walk down the aisle, and you need to know the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Hawkins, you say it's Mr. Jackson, not you, who has driven a wedge between the two of you. You say his lies, laziness, and jealousy are the real reason you two find yourself in divorce court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, you brought this case. Tell me why we're here.
So, you know, me and Ms. Hawkins met at my part-time job about 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I seen her, she was beautiful, you know, so I approached her, asked if I can take her out. You know, she said yes. So I ended up taking her out, and then what attracted me the most to her was when she said, this is gonna be our last time going out. I was like, yeah, this woman is amazing. She's strong, beautiful, and confident. Times went on, everything was good. And then, you know, her child's father came in the picture. You know, he started watching her son at her house. So that's when our relationship took a drain, and we ended up stopped talking.
Okay, so you broke up for a bit.
We stopped talking for a couple of weeks. Then she ended up pocket dialing and butt dialing me. We ended up talking back. Started talking about becoming a family, getting married, moving in with each other. Because the time when she did leave, the first time, you know, I realized, like, man, like, that's the one, you know? So if I ever get back talking with her, she's not going nowhere. I'm gonna be here forever.
And then what changed?
The passing of her son's father.
Okay, so you think that figure looms largely in your relationship?
Yes, it does.
Ms. Hawkins, I can imagine that somebody that you used to have a relationship with, and that's the father of your child, their passing can be traumatic.
Yeah.
But you were in a relationship with Mr. Jackson, and you decided to maintain that relationship.
Yes.
How did it go from him feeling so wonderful about the relationship to now wondering if it's a real relationship anymore?
After he passed, I did have to get my son in counseling and, you know, different things. I do have an 8-year-old that comes first.
You had to take some time to grieve the loss and to make sure that your child was in the best position to succeed and get through such a traumatic loss. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Jackson, why don't you start to walk me through what has happened to make you want to come here and question your relationship?
Well, before that, it was the name calling and the picking and just degrading me. I do 10 hours a day working from home.
Are you successful at it?
Yes, yes. And what a lot of people don't understand is when you're working from home, you're actually working. You're just not at home, just not doing anything.
Oh, that's me. I work from home all the time.
Yeah.
And I have my ritual. You know, I get up, I shower, I do some exercise, I have my breakfast, but then I go to my desk where it's time to work. Is that correct?
Correct. So the perception of me being at home, I'm lazy because not everything's getting done because I'm at home. On the outside looking in, I also have a job that I have to do. So, you know, in my 15 minutes, you know, I throw a load in, I wash dishes, and then it's just the degrading, you know, as far as like I'm not good enough or I should be doing more with my life, but I put my life on the back pedal so she can do more with her business and what she has going on as her entrepreneur. So, you know, me working from home, it allows me to watch her son while she's out and about doing whatever she needs to do. I pay all the utilities. I pay a little bit half of the rent sometimes. And sometimes I even tell her, like, you know, it's okay. I'll take care of this whole month. You just focus on what you need to focus on.
So you pull your weight financially?
Yes.
And you help her with her son?
Yes. Because she's a package deal. If I'm going to be with her, I have to have some type of relationship with her son. I'm not going to not allow myself to talk to her and not have some type of relationship with her son. And that's my little man. Like, he has a dear spot in my heart.
Now, Ms. Hawkins, I'm going to tell you, to the women in the audience, I see head shaking. They're going, okay, if you don't want him, I shall take him because he sounds like he's doing all the things he's supposed to do. What's going on?
He does not watch my son. Just recently, he started watching my son when my mother moved out of town. That was the person who always watched my child. We live together. So if I'm not getting off till 7 and my son come home, he's home because we all live together.
Got it.
So, okay, we can say that.
Does he carry his part of the financial burden of the family?
Yes, and I do as well.
Absolutely.
So,
you all are in a relationship.
Basically. So we both go half on the rent and he pays the utilities.
Okay.
So that's like an extra $300 a month. And it's like he goes overboard, like, I pay this. Like, you only pay $300 more than me, but I buy the food, I bring the food in, I cook the food, and what I need is somebody we're on the same page in a team.
When her son's with me, I have to feed him, so of course I gotta cook. You know, he's just not starving.
He do be starving. I will leave work, I pick up my son from the bus, and then I bring them food. So I make time for my son as well. So it's not that he's cooking, like getting up, making full meals. If anything, is warming something up. He barely cooks for his own stuff.
And I work 10 hours, so like...
This is what family does. You have to do compromise because a kid may have basketball or soccer or football practice.
He has boxing that I take him to. I'm not complaining. He's here complaining about... I take him, drop him off at home. He's there with you for 3 hours. But when I come home, I'm cooking dinner as well. Don't forget, I just bought y'all lunch because I know that you can't do much. My son will warm up him some food if he needs to. So this charade that he's putting up that I have to cook, I have to clean, he doesn't do any of that.
But I do it. When she gets done cooking, I wash the dishes. Sometimes she works a double. She won't get off till 10 o'clock at night.
You take responsibility for the family for
correct.
that.
And that's when I step in. You know, hey, you might have to go do something. Don't worry about it. I'll go do this. And I'm not up here complaining that I have to do it. I'm doing it because I love you, because I mess with you, because I don't have to do none of this stuff. I want to do this.
So you're not complaining about doing it.
I love doing this because I have a child.
But you want acknowledgement for doing it.
Correct. Because I want it to be out of love. Don't bring me food because I'm watching your son. Bring me food.
I'm not. I'm bringing you food so he can eat because you don't have to feed him. That's why I'm bringing you food.
So that I'm clear, she's been bringing lunch home to make sure that her son
is okay. Correct.
Can eat.
Correct.
But you reap a benefit because she's going to make sure the child has food and you don't have to stop in the middle of your day and feed her son lunch. I think if y'all just sat down and talked about this could be resolved fairly easily.
It's just the love that somebody's thinking about me, like, oh, I know you're at home working 10 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Are you hungry, baby? Let me come get you something.
That may be a discussion that you all need to have, but that's not a reason to come to divorce court.
We plan on doing a designated wedding, but the pandemic happened, so we called it off.
Absolutely.
Forget the wedding and all that. Let's just go downtown and let's get married. First, she did want to do it, and then once it was starting getting close, she started to change her mind. I want to do it because I'm in love with you, and I want you to make you my wife.
Love is not enough.
What else is going on?
It's the name calling. She calls me, she calls me fat.
You are not fat?
Hey, her family say I'm ill-built. So, I picked up some weight because of COVID, because of the pandemic. I work from home now, so, I'm not at the gym as I normally go, so... So apparently, I'm fat, I'm lazy.
Ms. Hawkins, he's not fat.
I know he's not fat. He's a drama king. I don't know if you guys have...
That's why she laughed when I say her family say I'm ill-built.
Well, I don't care what her family say.
Yeah, and you not, like...
No, I mean, seriously, step out for 1 second.
Yeah,
just step out 1 second.
He loves attention.
You know good and darn well that even if this child called you fat, You're not fat.
Oh, look.
So why do you care?
I picked up this gut.
But guess what? Go back.
Thank you.
I picked up
Okay,
this
but I don't
too much.
understand why you care.
It's his own insecurities, which is why we're here. And that was a perfect example of his mom, his family, or whoever you feel say that. You call me fat. I know I'm not fat.
I never called you fat. I say you beautiful. I say you
That's fine.
perfect. I say
He is a
I say you
drama
amazing.
king. That's fine.
I called you fat.
You all are doing tit for tat for no reason on this. You said something earlier about her not being into you.
Correct.
You're concerned Miss Hawkins is not as in love with you as you are in love with her.
Correct.
Because that is why we're here.
Yes, we was supposed to get married. We planned on doing a designated wedding.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, but pandemic happened, so we called it off.
Absolutely.
You know, she be going through her stages when she be feeling a lot of grief and she feels like she's alone. And I'm like, hey, you know, I want you to feel that you're not alone and I'm here with you. Forget the wedding and all that. Let's just go downtown and let's get married. First, she did want to do it, and then once it was starting getting close, she started to change her mind, like, oh, no, I want you to drop down on your knees, propose to me right.
Every
I want a ring.
woman wants the romance,
I know,
wants
but
that.
that's going to come later. I'm in it for the love. I'm not in it for the material. I want to do it because I'm in love with you, and I want you to make you my wife.
But here's the thing about falling in love with somebody and being in a relationship.
Love is not enough.
Well, it can be enough. I mean, I love my husband with all my heart and soul, and that's enough. And I know he feels the same way about me. But we speak the same language.
Yeah.
The things that make me happy, he wants to do. The things that make him happy, I want to do. Mr. Jackson, what makes you happy?
Someone just to show me appreciation, just know that, you know, what you're doing, it feels good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, food, feeding me, makes me happy. It's just the simplest thing. It's just somebody that's thoughtful and thinking about me.
So your love language seems to be act of service. You like somebody to show affection and acts of service.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins, what do you need in a relationship?
So what I need is someone who is goal-orientated as like me. Like, you know, we are on the same page. Like, you've been working on wanting to write the book for a year. He probably only wrote like 1 or 2 pages. When you get off work and you don't do anything, like clean up, he watch anime and he's caught up on every season of whatever show he watched. But all I ask for you to put that same thing is into your goals as what I'm trying to do.
Mr. Jackson, you know in order to build a successful marriage, a strong family, you do have to be on the same page.
And we are. Now, you heard her list of all those things that she's doing. She's in school, she's working on her own business as well. So who you think is taking care of her son as she's doing all this?
You do not take care of my son.
Your son doesn't be there while you're doing all this?
If he wants to be there.
And your son always wants to be there. Me and her son has a good relationship.
Home.
Me and her son has a good relationship.
I'm not dealing with the son right now because this young man is one element of this relationship, a big element because he comes with the package. And the greatest gift I got in my marriage was I got a bonus child.
Correct.
Yeah.
However, I'm trying to get to the bottom line of what is keeping you two together. Are you ready for a commitment?
I feel like we are here today and nothing that we talked about.
I promise you I'll go through counseling, therapy, do whatever you want me to do.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. You said you want to get married. I have not once heard Ms. Hawkins say she wants to get married yet. You said something about having children.
Yes.
You all haven't even gotten your communication down being good boyfriend and girlfriend yet.
But we had great communication. Like, we talked about marriage, we talked about family, we talked about all this stuff. Like, everything was going good until the passing of her child's father. And that's when all this stuff, as far as with us not being able to communicate, started to happen. So this is why I'm acting like this, you know, because I feel like I'm in second place. I can't really say nothing about it because if I say something about it, oh, he's not here, you're tripping, you're crazy, this and that. But like when I go home and I see pictures of them as a family in the room, I feel some type of way.
In my son's room.
So how did that make you feel?
Ms. Hawkins, how long ago did your baby's father pass away?
He's been gone for 1.5 years now.
Did you get a chance to have any additional therapy?
No, I have not. And I feel like I'm fine, but I totally understand what he is saying. I do feel like he's jealous. He shouldn't be because the person's not here. I'm not having no child by somebody I can't even communicate. I'm not marrying someone and getting into that is a business. This is a partnership. We are a family, so he has no structure. And I feel like as a man, you should carry yourself as a man. And I'm really, honestly, over this relationship, so.
Mr. Jackson, did you hear what Ms. Hawkins just said? I get the feeling that's probably one of the first times that you all have communicated back and forth where she has stated pretty definitively that this relationship is broken. You know, without communication, there can be no relationship. You two people understand that, right? And without respect, there's no love. Without trust, there's actually no reason to continue.
I agree.
And if you all can't trust each other for building of a future, if you can't be goal-oriented towards that future, I'm not sure that I see a future. I know, Mr. Jackson, you said that you wanted Ms. Hawkins to make a decision. You came here hoping that you'd get the truth.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins says she loves you, but she's still working through some things.
Correct.
She needs time to grieve the loss without you feeling insecure about it.
Right.
She needs time to allow her son to grieve the loss without you feeling insecure and unstable in your relationship. Ms. Hawkins, you say that you need him to give you your moments and to be more goal-oriented towards your future together. Correct. That's what I've heard. I want to give you both the opportunity to say one last thing to each other before I give you my recommendation.
I really came down here just to figure out what's the reason why we really didn't get married. Was it because I didn't have a ring? Or was it because it was something else? Because I really wanted to be in a relationship. I really truly love her. And I feel like she's the most amazing person I ever been with. And it's just like you said, I didn't give her the right time to grieve. But I do want to be with her and I do love her. So I brought this ring here to let her know that I do want to marry her.
So you're ready to make a commitment?
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins?
Yes.
Are you ready for a commitment?
I feel like we are here today and nothing that we talked about.
I promise you I'll go through counseling, therapy, do whatever you want me to do.
This, like...
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
We just talked and then this is it. Like I said, I feel like we need to communicate. You just jump to big things and be like, okay, everything fixed, let's do it. You just had a whole list of complaints about me, but now you want to make me your wife.
No,
you just had a whole list of things that I don't do. So I just feel like somebody who loves me and show that, that's who wife I want to be. That's who kids I want to have. Sometimes I feel like this is a joke. Like, are you serious? Then you just have a whole list of things that you just said.
See, but that's the thing, I don't like it. I'm willing to talk about it and let's figure it out because I feel like there's a miscommunication here.
Mr. Jackson, there's definitely a miscommunication. Ms. Hawkins is not ready for marriage right now. I'm not sure if you're the one. She may be ready at one moment, but she's not ready to marry you. I'm not sure if you hear her, so I'll be the one to tell you. She's not ready to marry you because she needs to have time to be the whole person that she is. Ms. Hawkins, you probably shouldn't have jumped right into a relationship until you had the opportunity to really grieve your previous relationship. And if you were already in the midst of it, you might need to have said, I'm going to need a break.
Yeah.
Because something tells me that there's a little guilt in you that you weren't with your baby's father at the time he died, that you were with somebody else in another relationship. And that's why you're not having the time to grieve. My heart says that it's not so much about what you lost in a mate, but you weren't there. I don't know you, but I saw it and I felt it. If you love her, you'll give her the time to find out what she needs. And this may come back around. But Mr. Jackson, don't put that pressure on the two of you because you don't want a wife or a mother of your children who's not 100% committed. And I don't think Ms. Hawkins can be 100% committed right now. And it's not really fair to ask her to. Give her a moment to breathe. And you, sweetheart, breathe.
I didn't want you to talk about...
This is not the man I met. He is egotistical. He disrespects me.
This entire marriage has been forced upon me.
When you don't have trust, when you don't have that foundation, the relationship is over before it starts.
I'm at my breaking point. He has a problem with spending.
You have champagne taste on a soda water budget.
Yes,
What's
honey,
going on?
come on, champagne taste. It's about the taste, not about the budget.
You can't trust him anymore. The man that I married would never have done that. I'm not going to advise her to try to make this work because I think it's dangerous. I think it's gone beyond that. Here is today's case.
This woman says her fiancé has more room in his heart for his so-called best friend and his Jeep than he does for her. Is there something more to these relationships? Or has her imagination gone off-road? That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, our virtual audience is filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Yvette from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
We are so happy to have you with us today, Yvette.
Your Honor, this is the case of Richardson Jackson versus Williams.
Thank you, Juan. Miss Colette Richardson Jackson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Demo Williams
Yes, Your Honor.
to divorce court today. I understand that the two of you are not married yet.
No, ma'am.
You are engaged, but you're here because you're having a number of issues, and you're trying to decide if you are going to take that next step or go your separate ways?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll start with you, Miss Jackson. Why don't you give me some background?
I love my fiance, I really do. At the beginning of the year, he bought us matching Jeep Wranglers because he knew I wanted one, but ever since then, we joined a club and I just never see him anymore. He's always with other girls, always has other girls dancing on his Jeep, and I just want to make sure that we're solid before we walk down the aisle.
What do you have to say, Mr. Williams?
Your Honor, I have today because of the fact that she thinks that I love my Jeep more than I love her, or that I'm out cheating with other girls, which is not the case. But most of all, she's just kind of like clinging too nosy for no reason.
Why don't you give me some specific examples of what has happened? You said the Jeep started all of this?
Yes, ma'am, the Jeep started all of this. He just spends all the time in the garage painting his Jeep, adding new music to his Jeep. We were supposed to have a Netflix and chill night, but instead he was adding 30 speakers to his Jeep. I actually provided some evidence.
I'd like to see this. Okay, is that you?
That's me on the left in my Jeep. Very basic. He hasn't done anything to mine yet, but as you can see, his is bright teal Tiffany blue, which I do love.
Mint green.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful cars.
Thank you.
And so you said that ever since he got the car, it's been all about that.
Yes, it's all about the Jeep mods, the hanging out with his Jeep friends, and there's no time for me.
So pre-Jeep, you're saying he made time for you?
All about me pre-Jeep.
And what other evidence?
I feel like he loves the Jeep more than me.
Who wanted the Jeeps in the first place? Whose idea was this?
She did. She wanted the Jeep in the beginning because she saw one of her previous friends had a Jeep. I wanted a Jeep also. I got both of us a Jeep. The Jeep was basic when I got it, so, you gotta, put a little spunk into it in order, to look good with it.
But what happened? Because you said he's using this Jeep to hang out with other people.
Yes, I submitted evidence. We have some aerial footage.
Aerial footage of what exactly?
It was the aerial footage of an event that he was at, a Jeep event.
We all just partaking.
Okay.
As you can see, Your Honor, you don't see me nowhere in that video doing nothing.
So what is this evidence to show me, Miss Jackson?
That I could be invited to these events, but instead he chooses to go to them without me.
There are a lot of people at this event.
Right, and she was at work at that time, so therefore she wasn't able to make the events. I'm an entrepreneur, I make my own schedule, so therefore I'm more free than she is.
What's the purpose of these events that you go to?
Most of them be like community service or just
you're out helping the
partaking
community.
in fun. Yeah, we give back to the homeless, back to school, to the kids and everything.
What do you say is really happening?
I'm gonna show you how philanthropic he is, Your Honor, because I actually submitted another video of evidence of girls twerking on his Jeep. Are you familiar with twerking, Your Honor?
Not Mr. Williams. He just said that they were giving backpacks to the kids.
At that
No,
time.
they were throwing backs at the kids.
Hello. Let me see the evidence.
So this was supposed to be a community service event, Your Honor, but if you can see the young lady dancing on his Jeep.
Well, as you can see, you don't see me doing anything but standing on top of my car, minding my business, not even recording, not interacting, doing nothing at all of a sort. But at the same time, my Jeep is like the main attraction out of 400 Jeeps, I have the best ones, mainly because of the music or whatever. I have like a lot of speakers in my system's like state of the art, whatever. So therefore, whenever I come out, I play loud music and it brings the crowd out. It's the main attraction.
So what was the service to the community supposed to be that day?
I mean, that one was like a ATL Pride ride out. You know, we have a lot of LGBTQ and group with us also, so we just did a ride out for that.
Well, who was the woman twerking on the Jeep?
Yeah, who was the woman
Your Honor,
twerking on
most
the
of the
Jeep?
people be random people I do not know. She just hopped on the Jeep. I mean, she was a little framed woman.
But on my side of it, Your Honor, as a woman, it's very embarrassing when you get those type of videos sent to you of your man.
How is it cheating or doing anything wrong? I'm just standing there beside the car.
I would just like to see, because Mr. Williams, you just appear to be in such close
proximity. Minding my business, just standing there looking.
He should have
Amazed.
exactly looking. He should have been telling her to get off. This video went viral. My family has seen this.
Right,
My
but it's
friends
also,
have
they see
seen
me
this.
drinking water at 100-degree weather, standing
Hydrated.
outside of my car, doing nothing, sweating.
Trying to stay hydrated in the midst of
They
serving
thirsty.
the community that day. So the two of you had a conversation about it, but you said that things haven't really gotten any better.
Absolutely, it just keeps happening. There are multiple women that just keep coming up over and over that just pop up at events that he doesn't tell me about. For example, I threw him a very lavish birthday party, had all his friends and family there. The next day, we were supposed to all fly to Houston. I could not make it. I got very ill the next morning. I said, still go. Your friends already bought tickets. They already have hotel accommodations, club sections booked. I don't want to get in the way of your travel plans. So I'm laying in bed looking at the Instagram stories, and I see a girl in the section with him, very close, very comfortable, looking like she's celebrating her man's birthday with her man.
I've been on this girl for the last 8 years of my life.
I've never seen her.
Prior to her, whatever, the girl comes around. I didn't even invite this girl. This girl showed up on her own as a surprise to me in Houston.
So why didn't you call and tell me?
I don't have to tell you everything. I'm not a child. I mean, I got to tell you everything that's going on.
So she saw that on the Instagram stories because you said you have nothing to hide.
You're right, and
So it was
I
out
the one
in
that posted the
public.
video on Instagram, so it wasn't in the hide.
Do you think he would really post a video on Instagram knowing you're going to see it if he was trying to hide something?
I would hope not.
Because
But
it's
it was
very
just-
different when
yeah.
he doesn't know he's being recorded there.
Absolutely.
Obviously. But this is a situation where he's posting a video.
Actually, I have evidence of the video just so you can see
She
where
all
I'm
got
coming from.
evidence of something.
Why
have
am I not
evidence of
surprised by
everything.
that, Ms. Jackson?
Everything is evidence to you.
Too close. Look at them, too close in the club having fun.
Not
Why
even-
is she that close to him?
Not close enough, because she in the frame.
You posted that on your story,
Yeah.
correct?
On my birthday.
So when she told you she didn't like it, she was too close to you, what was your
I
reaction?
mean, she ain't gonna say nothing at that point. She'll wait till like days later and bring it up when I'll be like, what are you talking about? Instead of addressing the issue then, even though it's not gonna change anything though. And I do have a witness though.
Who is your witness today, sir?
Her name is Sierra Shodemeyer. She was my friend for the last 15 years.
Okay.
Your Honor, why was I never informed she was going on the trip if they're such good friends?
Well, ma'am, it was a surprise.
Because it was
Had nothing
a
to do with you.
surprise trip for my birthday.
Your Honor, does that look friendly to you?
As you can see, we was not intimately kissing. It was just our tongues tapping together. It wasn't a kiss.
Right.
It wasn't.
It was intimate.
What do you call it?
It was,
Let's bring in the witness one. I'm sure she has some information that's going to crack this case wide open.
I hope she do.
Mr. Williams. How are you, Ms. Shodemeyer?
I'm fine. How are you today, Ms. Young?
Thank you. I appreciate you being here today. I understand that you are friends with Mr. Williams and you've been friends for a long time.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Do you know Ms. Jackson at all?
I've met her. Yeah, I don't know everything, but I know who she is.
She should.
And what are you here to offer in terms of testimony in this case?
Just to clarify the whole situation and what she has made it to be and what it's not. I've known Demo for, like you said, over 15 years. This is a close friend of mine. I date his close friend. We're just friends, and that's it. Strictly platonic, that's it. There's nothing going on, Colette. We don't have any background. That's just it.
So, Your Honor, why was I never informed she was going on the trip if they're such good friends?
Well, ma'am, it was a surprise.
Because
Had
it was
nothing
a
to do with you.
surprise trip for my birthday. So I didn't know she was coming either.
If I was going to my male friend's birthday, I would tell his girlfriend first.
And this is what goes
It's called
on.
respect.
I'm just on the sideline.
It's called respect.
But you're dating a friend of his?
Yes, ma'am.
And you think that she's stepping out on a relationship she's in with his friend?
I mean, her man's not as handsome, so maybe.
Assumption. I can't even go nowhere and do anything because she think everybody want me.
Did your friend go on the trip?
No, he did not come.
Wait,
Your
so
Honor, is
your
that not
boyfriend
suspicious?
didn't go on the trip?
Right.
But you went?
I did.
Why?
Even though my boyfriend has a relationship with him, Demo and I have a separate relationship. And my boyfriend at the time could not go because he had other obligations.
Your Honor, can I submit some evidence? I do have another video I'd like to show you.
Where'd you get this video?
Instagram.
Who knows? Where's Waldo?
Instagram.
Let me see the video.
Your Honor, does that look friendly to you?
Yes, it looked
Does that
very
look like
friendly.
something you would do with your male friend?
Your Honor, we was just drinking, having a nice time. As you can see, we was not intimately kissing. It was just our tongues tapping together.
Does that look like something a married or a to-be married man?
To be married man. I mean,
with his friend.
I can't explain the dynamics of that, but it wasn't a kiss.
Right.
It wasn't.
It was intimate.
What do you call it?
No.
Ms. Shadamad, what do you have to say?
Your Honor, that particular moment we're not proud of. We had been drinking all day.
What does that mean?
Everybody was drinking, shots were flowing. At that particular moment, I still can't explain to this day, but it's put such a strain on my relationship.
Oh,
with
really?
this friend. Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I can't, it's nothing I can really say about that.
Well, now I know why we're here.
Well.
Now I understand why you're here. That's not something you do with your friends. I don't care how many drinks you've had and how long you've known each other. That's not something you do with somebody who is just one of your homeboys.
And I can understand that.
Or one of your homegirls. Right, Mr. Williams?
We
I
have a
guess,
different
yes, Your
dynamic.
Honor, I'll agree with you on that. It really wasn't, it wasn't even meaningful. It wasn't nothing, though.
It was actually something. Something quite
Definitely was
significant.
something.
Actually, the two of you look very comfortable in that video.
Too comfortable, Your Honor.
Almost as if it's not the first time you've dealt with each other in that manner.
We're not going to do that. Listen,
Well, you
this has already
didn't?
put too much strain on our relationship. We're not going to make it seem like
And then
it's something
she
more
shows
than
up
what
on
it
a
is.
trip as a surprise and don't tell nobody.
Yeah, because that's my friend. Listen, ma'am, if I didn't know you wasn't going to show up, I wouldn't have maybe showed up because I know how you are about Demo. And you don't want nobody to be around him, but that's my friend.
Well,
at
I
the
can
end of the day.
understand why she's that way now.
She'll just pop up to the location where I'm at and be like, oh, I'm just in the area. I'm just in the area. Like, oh, I didn't know you was here.
She was tracking you?
Yeah, she was tracking me like I'm an animal or something.
Your Honor, I do have his location.
Ms. Jackson, is this really how you want to spend the next 30 years of your life? If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
She act the same way. Even old friends from the past, family member that she didn't know was family, they can just hug me and she'll be like, oh, why you touching my man? Why you touching my man? Why you doing it? Why you doing
You
it?
know
Why
what?
just
I don't
unnecessary
have
stuff.
evidence.
At the same time, even
Do you
though
have any
I
evidence?
apologized to her boyfriend about that, even just, letting her know that, you know my homie, I'll never go behind your back and do nothing shady, regardless of what the video looked like. It really
Picture
wasn't
says
nothing.
1,000 words. It
So
paints a
with that
very
being
different
said,
picture.
Your Honor, I just need him to prove to me that
You
he's
said,
faithful.
Mr. Williams, a couple of times that that's no big deal. What if you saw a video of Miss Jackson doing that with your friend?
I guess, I wouldn't like it.
So
with that
now
being said,
it would
I
be
just think
important. It would mean something. If the shoe were on the other foot,
If I didn't
correct?
know the dynamics of their relationship, yes, it would mean a lot. But like I said it once before, I have apologized.
The apology is nothing without him proving to me that he can be faithful.
But what have you seen after this?
Exactly, you haven't seen nothing
Like, what-
prior to
what-
that. You haven't seen nothing after that also, though.
First of all, we broke up for 2 days behind it because
Oh,
he didn't
2 whole
even-
days.
For 2 days,
For
because
2 whole
what?
days because he didn't even have a good excuse.
Thank you, Ms. Shadamad. Thank you. You know, I know you have this lifestyle and you go to the parties and you're part of this club and you're a promoter. But at some point, when you decide to propose, and did you get down on one knee?
Yes,
And did you have a ring?
I did have a ring.
And you asked her to marry you?
I did
And you said it was a lifetime?
Yes,
You said it was a commitment.
Yes.
Well, when are you going to start acting like it?
I mean, I've been acting like it, but now that after I have done that, though, she's like, did a 360. So now it's
Yeah.
just like, I can't even go to the store or hang out over the hours. She'll just pop up to the location where I'm at and be like, oh, I'm just in the area. I'm just in the area. Like, oh, I didn't know you was here. But at the same time, though, I found out that she was like sharing location with me.
She was tracking you?
Yeah, she was tracking me like I'm an animal or something.
Your Honor, I do have his location. He had to accept it on his end. He knew I had it.
Ms. Jackson, is this really how you want to spend the next 30 years of your life?
No, ma'am.
Tracking?
I thought it was a lifetime.
So I don't think you need me to give you an answer. I think you already have it. And by the way, what you're saying about how unfair it is to you now, the way you're being treated, that is what happens when the foundation of trust is broken in a relationship. There is a price to pay. There are consequences. And that's why when you get engaged and when you decide to get married, it's such a big decision because it's a completely different decision about how you navigate your relationships and what you do. You don't start acting like a husband after you get married. You have to act like that, and it has to be consistent prior.
You're right, and I did everything prior.
Not everything.
Not everything.
'Cause that
99.9.
You don't have children together, right?
No.
Okay. What is it that you want today, Ms. Jackson?
I would like to reestablish trust and be able to work things out if I know he's going to put in the work to do that.
Because it takes work. If you think that he can do that, and you think that that can happen, it's not going to happen by you watching and being proactive and think you're going to catch him in the act of doing something so you can stop yourself from getting hurt again. So that's a really big decision you have to make.
Absolutely.
Can I really trust him?
Absolutely.
And then on your end, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Why are you shaking your head? You don't think you've really done anything that wrong, do you?
That one incident, I mean, that was wrong. I admit to it, that was wrong. But at the same time, though, I have feelings also, and I'm still a man, I'm still a human. But the way she treat me and, like, tracks me down and do all unnecessary stuff, she not innocent either, though.
Why do you think she does that?
Who knows?
What?
Prior relationships, prior for me.
So you're saying that prior to that video coming out, she was already doing those things?
I don't tell how long she been following my location, pulling up outside.
I can tell you the event that precipitated all of that happening, and I saw it on video today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So here's where we are, because you're not happy. You say that
I'm still happy, but I'm not happy with the decision I made prior to,
of course,
my birthday weekend. But other than that, everything else is okay. But
you're not happy about the way you say you're being treated now after that birthday weekend in Houston. So you have a lot of work to do because you have to. You're the one that broke trust, so you're the one that has to earn it back. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get married, things aren't gonna get easier. You're gonna have other issues to resolve. So if you're gonna put in the work, you may as well start now. If you are not ready, because I'm not sure that you are.
I'm ready.
Now is the time. I don't care if the invitations have been mailed. I don't care if the cake has been ordered. I don't care if the deposit has been put down on the sanctuary. If you are not ready and you have doubts, you take your time and you wait and you see what work is being done in your relationship. You do it now before it's too late. That's why you came, because you didn't want to end up back here after the fact.
Right.
So it's easy to fall in love. It takes work to stay there. The decision is yours whether you're going to put in the work, and the decision is yours whether you are going to trust him again. Tracking him is not going to be the way to trusting him. You're going to have to let it go and see if he actually does the work. Good luck to both of you.
If there's one thing that's true about red flags, it's that ignoring them early will usually cost you later. Ms. Williams says she learned that lesson the hard way during her relationship with Mr. Davis, whose cheating, emotional distance, and refusal to introduce her to his family have her feeling like she's just blowing in the wind. Can this relationship get back on track? Or will this couple have to wave that white flag of surrender? Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Williams versus Davis.
Thank you very much. Ms. Williams, you're here today because your fiancé of 2 years is an emotionally unavailable liar and cheater, according to you. You say that Mr. Davis isn't putting the same amount of energy that you are to take your relationship to the next level.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Davis, you say your fiancé doesn't trust you and it's holding your relationship back. You say Ms. Williams is a mini investigator who is constantly looking for something to complain about And if things don't get better for you, you'll have to reconsider whether or not you want to marry her at all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this seems like a major conflict in terms of status in your relationship. Why are we here, Ms. Williams?
First, this is my heart. Like, I love him to death. But it just seems like lately, we just can't see eye to eye. Like, I had no communication. I can't trust him as far as I can throw him. Lies, betrayal, the list goes on. Like, we can't get on the same page for anything. And if nothing works out, I don't know if I can continue doing this. And I just hope maybe you can fix it or try to fix it.
You guys have been together for 6 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Engaged for 2 years. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Davis, why do you think we're here, sir?
Well, Your Honor, I want to say I love Ashley.
I like that you all both started out saying that there is love there.
There is love, but I'm tired of the accusations, and I can't go to work without being accused of being with some other woman. I can't go to the store without being accused of meeting some woman there.
Does she have reason to be concerned? Have you cheated on her?
In the past, yes, Your Honor.
And how far in the past are we talking?
Before we were engaged.
Miss Williams, you shaking your head with a laugh and a giggle, but that doesn't seem like a happy laugh and giggle.
Because that's not true, Your Honor. It's been infidelity since then. He just doesn't want to admit it. Like, I've experienced so many red flags with Mr. Davis.
Okay, tell me about these red flags.
About a month into us being together, he was communicating with his ex. I found out because she ended up hitting me up on social media because I posted a picture of me and Josh. And she replies to the picture and she's like, oh, so you're dating Josh? I'm like, yes, ma'am, I am. She said, well, I find that funny because I'm with Josh. And the last time I checked, Josh, you told me you weren't seeing anyone.
So his ex told you that they were still in a relationship?
About a month and a half into us being
That wasn't true.
But she reached out.
She reached out.
To Miss Williams.
Ex is better.
You the one that picked her, okay?
Red flags.
Red flags. Go ahead, Miss Williams.
Red flags. And so I asked him about it. He told me the same thing. He said, no, I'm not with her. But it came out that he was still dealing with her.
Give me red flag number 2.
Red flag number 2. I have a friend who worked with him. She would tell me about how he would be very flirtatious with a young lady that they worked with. I said, okay, well, record it and send it to me. She records it and sends it to me. And then I wait for Mr. Davis to come home. And I ask him, oh, that's just a coworker. I said, oh, okay. I said, this is what we're doing with coworkers. He said, look, nonchalant, very nonchalant. He doesn't care. He leaves. I'm like, okay. So I called the young lady. I'm like, hey, do you know Mr. Davis?
You know she ain't playing with you, right?
I don't.
She ain't playing with you, okay?
But listen, we weren't together at the time. We had separated for a year. And she still had people out here
checking on
spying on me. I mean, everywhere I went.
So according to you, y'all had broken up?
Yes. We were separated for a year.
And how do you break up with somebody when you live in the same house, sleep in the same bed?
Were you living in the same house at this time?
Yes, we were.
Were you sleeping in the same bed?
We were.
Okay, so that goes back to my question of, if I ask one person, are you separated? I need to start asking the follow-up is, if I asked your person that you're supposed to be with, were you separated, what would the answer be?
It would be yes, because I was telling her that we were separated.
But wait, but you were still sleeping in her house?
No, she was sleeping in my house.
Who pays the bills?
I do.
But this is another issue we have. The gender roles. It's always, I never get credit for anything. He's the great provider, but he thinks he takes care of everything by himself. Like, I do nothing. I take care of the house. I don't work, and that's another problem. I don't work because he doesn't want me to work.
Miss Williams, for real, it's gonna be sister to sister. You need to have your own.
I've started.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I see the other sisters in the audience. They are clapping. Sisters, raise your hand. You agree with me? You need to have your own. Okay.
And she can.
You
have
cannot.
her own.
I don't need no amen corner. You cannot expect somebody to be financially responsible for you, and then you get to say what you want, do what you want. When you have your own, you get to stand in your own space.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you say what you want, do what you want. And if stuff's not working right, then you get your own stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't let somebody control what your destiny is. Oh, no. And yes, you can be a wonderful provider, Mr. Davis, but you don't get credit for stuff you're supposed to do. I can't stand when folk want to do that.
Yes.
You don't get kudos for doing what you're supposed to do. Yes, she's supposed to be grateful that you're a good provider, but you're not supposed to stop her from growing in her own space. And you are not supposed to let somebody stop your growth.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, I'm not trying to stop her from working. I just gave her the option. If she wants to work, she can. If she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to. We just need to get on the right page.
Okay, y'all, I'm trying to figure this one out. Y'all are gonna have to help me. My husband is a judge. I'm a judge. I do philanthropy. I'm on a plane constantly. But guess what? I make my son's volleyball games. We get the house cleaned together. My husband makes sure the trash is taken out, he and my son. You know what that's called? Family.
Yeah.
We help each other out all the time.
Definitely.
And you know what else? Nobody ever throws in the other person's face. Well, you know I took the trash out.
No.
Well, you know I washed the dishes. Robert, how you and Chris do it? The same way?
The same way.
I get another inbox on social media, and she's
Another
like,
ex?
Another ex, Your Honor. And she sends me a picture of Mr. Davis doing a tattoo with her boob in his hand.
I had on gloves.
Everything is a joke to him.
I need to hear your side.
Yes.
Because I have heard what Miss Williams is saying, but right now, this is sounding real sketchy on you.
You know, I can't do anything without being accused of something.
Well, you know, you can't be
something.
seeing the coworker when you quote on break that ain't really on break.
We was on break, Your Honor.
We weren't on break, just
I
like
kept
we
telling
weren't
her
on break
we were
last
separated.
But Mr. Davis, y'all were on break, but were you still hitting it when you want to?
No. Not when I wanted to.
Ooh-wee. You a mess. You're a mess. Another red flag, Your Honor, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Was about 3 months ago. We got into an altercation. We went to sleep not talking to each other. And then I wake up the next day, and he's not there. I'm calling Josh. Hey, leaving him voicemails, text messages. He's not answering, not replying to my text. I get another inbox on social media of a familiar face from someone we both know that he's dealt with in his past. And she's
Another
like,
ex?
Another ex, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. And she sends me a picture of Mr. Davis doing a tattoo with her boob in his hand. And so I wait for him to come home.
I had on gloves.
See, everything is a joke to him. Everything is a joke to him.
Joke. It was,
Anyways,
it was being professional.
Mr. Davis said I had my PPE together. What
That's
more
what
do you
I'm
want?
saying.
it's not even funny.
I was
I
being
asked him
professional.
about it, and he blew it off. And I'm like, it'll be different.
Money.
No, he told me it was business.
Exactly.
But it's different. It's
Is
not
he a
about
tattoo
business.
artist?
Yes, I am.
He's here and there, Your Honor. It's not something consistent.
Is there a tattoo parlor that one goes to where they have antiseptic and clean utensils and needles and stuff that has been inspected by the health department? Do he work there?
No, ma'am.
Bless your heart.
And it'll be different if it was just somebody else. It came down to, we both know this young lady. We both know the past that they had and sometimes continue to have, Your Honor. So for him to say that it's business was something that was just disrespectful. And that caused us to go downhill even farther, Your Honor.
I'm going to tell you something on the real. When someone tells you who they are, you need to believe them the first time. Guess what? Sometimes you even can believe them the second time. But from what I've been hearing since you stood up here, you've had more than 2 times.
Multiple.
That your man has told you who he is. Is there anything else you want to add?
He's just so emotionally unavailable. And like I spoke about earlier, I'm a very emotional person. You know, I deal with anxiety, PTSD, severe depression, and stuff like that.
Does this have to do with the trauma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What happened, Ms. Williams?
I had a house fire, and I lost both of my sons.
Oh,
and then
my
in
word.
2019, I lost my mother.
A loss is traumatic in and of itself.
Definitely.
And no mother should have to bear their child, ever. And you and I both lost our mother. You take your time. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
I'm not really mentally well up there, but I still maintain because I still have 2 children to raise.
But I want you to understand, you don't ever need to justify that.
Yeah.
A loss is traumatic in and of itself.
Definitely.
And no person, no mother should have to bear their child, ever. I cannot imagine anything worse, and if the Lord continues to bless me, I will not know that pain. And you and I both lost our mother. You take your time.
It's just like sometimes I deal with so much emotionally, and you know, I come to him and I say, like, I'm having a bad day. And recently a death anniversary came up, and I was really distant with everybody. And
that's understandable.
Yeah. But I said something to him the next day, and I'm like, you didn't even say nothing to me yesterday at all. And he told me I didn't feel like I had to. Sometimes a hug would just change everything. I don't always need him to say something to me. Just hug me sometimes.
Just
because
like he
sometimes
did.
that's all I need.
But just like he did.
Yeah.
But Miss Williams, I don't want to in any way suggest that your grief is not your grief.
Yeah, I just don't want her thinking about bad times.
That may not be something that you can help.
Yeah.
But I understand that it takes time.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens with you and Mr. Davis, you have to take care of yourself, and there are people that you can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to make someone available so that you can actually speak to a real grief counselor, because it's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
You may have jumped into the relationship with Mr. Davis as a way of finding comfort after so much loss.
That's definitely crossed my mind before.
Everybody needs to find a place where they can just curl up and
Mhm.
feel safe and secure.
Within the last maybe 3 years, I've had how many? Like 2 to 3 miscarriages with this young man. So the emotion is just too much sometimes. And I feel like sometimes he might hold that against me or like resent me because of stuff like that. I don't know. But
That's more assumptions.
Ms. Davis, I don't think that you've been completely honest here on some of the incidents that have happened in the past. And lying to me is like a cardinal sin, because I can handle anything that you tell me. I may not like it. It may hurt my feelings. It may take me some time to get over it, and I might not ever get over it. But I can guarantee you, if you lie to me, I'm not gonna get over it. So when you're in a relationship with someone, they deserve your honesty.
See, and that's what I've been giving her, but it's still
The two incidents that we have talked about in terms of the exes and their behavior and shenanigans, that does not make a woman feel secure. I'm sure you can understand that.
Yeah, I understand.
So my first piece of advice to you is you need to pick wisely. If you are picking people to be a part of your life who find it their mission to try to throw grenades in yours, that should tell you something about your choices. So you need to check them with a quickness, for real.
You're dealing with some too.
I never said I was perfect.
It's very clear to me, y'all don't speak the same love language.
At all.
Miss Williams, you need words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
You need physical touch.
Yes, ma'am.
And she gets that.
I'm not sure what your love language is, Mr. Davis. I don't know what it is that makes you happy.
I don't believe
Just a good home-cooked meal like she used to.
So that acts of service would be something that would make you happy.
Kinda.
It's hard for me to do stuff like that, Your Honor, because he just don't make me feel like I belong there. And that might sound harsh, but I still do it.
This is a tough question, because you got a ring on your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
But you came here to court because you said that your fiancé of 2 years was a liar and a cheater, and you didn't find him emotionally available.
Yes, ma'am.
But you still want to marry him.
I do. I love him, but I have an attachment issue. I've been like that my whole life. And I'm not necessarily comfortable in the situation that we're in, but I'm comfortable with him, and I love him.
Mr. Davis, you lucked out and got a woman who wants to be with you, who wants to be submissive, who wants to be your wife.
I am lucky.
Because there's nothing that I've seen in court today that would make somebody like me feel that same way.
I understand.
I thought you would. I want to take care of my husband. I want to make sure that the family has everything that they need. But my husband wants to do the same thing for me. And he shows it to me every single day.
See, and I show her, but
Like
she doesn't
stated earlier,
see
just
it.
not in my love language. The way he shows love, I'm blind to, and the way I show love, I believe he's blind to.
So here's the deal. Mr. Davis has been saying that your trust issues are what's holding him back. And this mini investigator, that role that you play, accusing him of cheating and lying at every turn, does not make him feel positive in the relationship. You all need to at least find out what each other's love language is and start talking to each other in that language. Because that ring that sits on your finger means absolutely nothing if it does not represent the love that is between the two people.
I agree.
If you really want my advice, I think you need to spend less time worrying about being his wife and more time worrying about becoming the whole human being who is healed so that you can bring your full self to whatever relationship is going to make you happy.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashley Williams deserves sanity and health, mentally and physically.
I do.
I think that's where you should be focusing your attention.
Yes.
Today on Divorce Court.
I'm here today at Divorce Court to try to figure out discipline issues with my kids and anger issues with my girlfriend.
What I dislike most about Barley would be how he isn't good with his money. I feel like he doesn't put his priorities first.
What irritates me most about Brittany is when we get in a fight, she calls my mother, and I gotta hear it.
What I want from Judge Toler is to make him realize that he's in the wrong about some of the things because he feels like he's not. So he can see he does need to change.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Bartley Doyle and Brittany Martin. The two of you have been together for 8 years. You have 3 children together, 5, 4, and 8 weeks. And another child that you co-parent. And you have one deep, abiding issue, and it happens to be those children. You're worried about each other's parenting styles. So, Mr. Doyle, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me what's going on over at your house?
Really trying to come to agreement with my girlfriend on how to discipline my kids, because every time I do it, it's either too hard or I didn't do it in the right place, and that's World War III after that, so.
So you want me to tell you where to come down on the issue? Who's right, who's wrong, which way to go?
Pretty much.
You spank the kids, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns about how often and how hard you spank them?
Yeah, when I feel like I spank them too hard, I feel bad.
Right. Let's ask Miss Martin what's going on. Miss Martin, what's happening over at your house?
So we argue about him spanking because when he spanks them, I feel like he does go a little overboard sometimes, not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I say something about it, he's like, why are you telling me how to discipline my kids? You can't tell me how to discipline my kids. You know, there are kids. And I just feel like he can discipline them, but he should do it, you know, in the correct way. And I feel like spanking them maybe once or twice, a pop on the butt. Other than that, just don't spank them unless it's really necessary. So.
Yeah. Have you two ever sat down and had a conversation about how you choose discipline when nothing was at issue? Do you just talk about disciplining the kids when something goes bad?
No, we've never sat down and actually discussed anything. I feel like if I try to discuss something with him, he tells me, why are you trying to start an argument? Why are you arguing with me? So everything I do to communicate with him, it's an argument.
One argument about the kids got so contentious, the police were called. Why don't you tell me about that?
We'll yell really loud, and our neighbors will hear us, so they'll come out. And our kids do see that. We don't want our kids to see that. We don't want them in that situation.
Mr. Doyle, is there a lot of yelling and arguing going on in your house?
To be honest, yes, there is from me.
From you?
Yeah.
Well, with ownership and insight, that's good. Do you want to change things at your house?
I do, but it's kind of hard when you got everybody in your business. Say, that's.
When you say everybody's in your business, who are you talking about?
Family members.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming on here is not going to help that. I'm just putting that out there. What's family saying to you or to her about what's going on?
I mean, they don't hear my part. They hear her part, and then that's it. I get 1,000 text messages from all kind of people, and it's just.
Are you over there telling your family what's going on with your husband, with Mr. Doyle here?
Yes, because when I tried to speak to him about it, he shuts me out. I feel like he shuts me off all the time. So I feel like I need to express myself to either one of my family members so they can understand me and what I'm dealing with, and hopefully they can talk to him so maybe he can get another insight so he can understand where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. So that's why I do go ahead and text a family member or call a family member.
Are you a hard guy to talk to?
But to me, it's like, why tell me to go discipline my kids, and as soon as I do it, I get cussed out when you can just go take care of it sometimes. Which every time it's time to discipline them, it's me.
What'd I just say? That's one of your problems right there. You get stuck on what you're thinking and your point that you want to get across, and you don't have a conversation. You're just getting your point across. That's why you guys can't talk. That's why, because women don't bottle well. If we feel something needs to be said, we're going to say it to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's best if we can say it to you. But if we can't, we're going to say it to somebody else. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So I'm going to ask you again. This time I want you to answer the question that I asked. Are you a difficult dude to talk to?
I guess you could say yes.
So if I come at you and I don't agree about something and I tell you I don't like something you did, do you often resort to anger?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
If it's not in my favor, I guess.
Yeah, you get mad about it. Do you know how hard it is to live with a person that does that? Because two people in a house, they're going to disagree.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you see that as something you'd like to work on?
Yes, I want to be able to come to agreement so we don't always have to fight about it.
Right. Right. You know you're going to have to change, right?
Yes, ma'am. I admit to having anger issues, so it just never took the next step, and me going to counseling to fix it.
Oh, we're doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? The one thing, I don't know everything I'm going to say to you at the end, but one thing for sure, we're going to get you into anger management, okay?
Yes, ma'am. That's
one thing for sure. Now, I want to talk about the pressures of finances, employment, and lack thereof. Take your time. Do you know why the mother of your children burst into tears, not about the discipline, not about the arguing, but about the employment? Do you know why that happened?
Mm-hmm.
So, Ms. Martin, I understand he's had some difficulty with he had a CDL, he had some issues, and now he has employment issues. Why don't you tell me financially and where your family currently stands?
So right now, we've been struggling for a little bit.
Take your time.
Sorry.
Take your time.
But when he works, he's a hard worker. When he had a CDL, he provided really well for us.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure, our bills were paid and we were good. We had, fun family times, and we went out and did things together. But unfortunately, he did have some tickets, and he lost his CDL. It got suspended. It didn't get lost.
Right.
So he just got to pay the tickets off. When he gets a job, he does stay with it, but I feel like the way he is at work towards his bosses, maybe that's why he doesn't stay long there.
Mr. Doyle, since the CDL situation happened, have you had difficulty maintaining employment?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why the mother of your children burst into tears, not about the discipline, not about the arguing, but about the employment? Do you know why that happened?
No, ma'am.
This is my guess. You changed when you lost that CDL. You became angry. You're angry at yourself. And you feel a little bit less than because you were the man making money. And now that that's not happening anymore, that anger has welled up and spilled over and splashed all over your family. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't like it either.
No, because
it's bothering you right now. You care. It bothers you. That means you are somebody and you're about something. And it's just a matter of our getting your something together so your something doesn't hurt the people that you're with. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to feel it. What's the worst thing that's happened since he's lost his employment?
So we've lost our place. We had to live with a family member for quite a while. And it's not always fun living with a family member. You have to, provide by their rules and, have to deal with living around their lifestyles. And it's just not something you want for your kids because you want your kids to have their own place. So losing our place and then having to come back on our feet and getting our own place again was really hard, And then like I said, he's been bouncing job to job. So I felt like I was paying the bills by myself at times. Which he's done it when I was a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
But when you're pregnant and you're worried about your bills by yourself, it's stressful. Mm-hmm. So.
The issues that you have currently at your job, do you think it's basically because of your temper?
It's mostly because of my anger, and I left doing warehouse because of everybody trying to be the boss. And so that's why I got my CDL, and because my whole family does it, that's another reason why I got it. And,
But some people do better in that environment. Some people just do better working for themselves. My husband can't work for anybody. He has to work for himself.
And that's how I feel. And then me doing warehouse jobs is my background.
I got you. It's a step down that you don't want to take. And it's a blow to the ego every time you walk in that door. I get it. Underpaid, overworked, got it. Ms. Martin, not only are you upset about his anger issues and the finances, you believe he's cheating, and I want to talk to you about that. You don't remember a couple days ago, Mr. Doyle, that you popped out at 2 a.m.?
I do remember, and I know what I was doing.
Would you ever share your frustrations about your spouse with a close family member? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Ms. Martin, why do you believe Mr. Doyle is cheating?
I don't know if he's cheating now. If in the past he's cheated. I've caught him cheating, quite a few times, but...
Quite a few?
Quite a few. Not just once, not just twice. So recently he just done this where he'll leave at night when I'm asleep, like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll wake up and he's not there. And it hurts my feelings because I'm wondering where he's at.
What's he doing?
What's he doing? Who's he with? I'm here with your kids sleeping and you're out doing whatever. It's not fair to my feelings. I feel like he don't respect me.
Mr. Doyle, are you showing up missing at 2 a.m.?
That was my past. That was my past, and yes, I was.
But you just did it just recently.
But
did you do it again just recently?
No, I didn't do it. It's been so.
So you didn't?
No. It's been so...
How long ago do you say he did it?
Just like a couple days ago.
You don't remember a couple days ago, Mr. Doyle, that you popped out at 2 a.m.?
I do remember, and I know what I was doing.
What were you doing?
I wasn't cheating. I was trying to make money. I'm trying to...
But you didn't hear... But see, you don't pay attention. I asked you, did you turn up missing at 2? I didn't say were you cheating at 2. But you said that didn't happen because you didn't answer my question. You answered the question you thought I was going to get to next. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you got it. You know, the most valuable thing that you can have in any relationship is the ability to hear what's said. Not hear what you fear or what's going to make you angry, but hear exactly what's being said. And I don't think you do. I don't think you do. You also say that he compares you to women that he believes are sexier?
No, he don't compare me. I just feel like, you know, there are certain family members of mine that post provocative, you know, photos of himself on social media. And I just feel like he should respect me enough when I say, please don't have them on that social media account, that he should not have them. I just feel like he should respect my boundaries. And he doesn't. And when I do bring it up, he says I'm arguing. It's always an argument with him when I try to discuss something.
Mr. Doyle, do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, because, I mean...
He thinks it's just a bathing suit.
It's bothering your wife.
If I deleted the person and they add me again and she known about it, and then you want to get mad about it when we fight and bring it up and say, I want you to delete it, only when you're mad at me.
I get tired of arguing with him, so I give up. I gave up on a lot of things with him. Like, I stopped going through his phone. I don't care. I stopped caring about who he's talked to, what he's doing behind my back. But it still bothers me. It still hurts my feelings.
But you just let it go sometimes because it's too much.
Because I tell him something and nothing changes. Does it still hurt my feelings? Yes. It does. It really does.
And sometimes when something else happens, all of that just floods to the gate because you've been holding it for that long. Do you understand what she's saying, Mr. Doyle?
And that's true. Once arguments start, just everything adds up and it all goes together. But cheating, I haven't done that.
You haven't done anything.
I'm too worried about being successful and getting my things together to support my family. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I got you.
But you don't give me any reason to trust you either.
I got you. I know what's happening here. I know what's happening here, and I'm going to make some suggestions, definitive ones. What would you do if your partner's temper caused them to lose multiple jobs? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. I like you, Mr. Doyle. I think what's happened to your license and your ability to provide has implicated your ego and made you just awful to live with. And I know you don't feel good, and I know it's eating at you, but I want you to look at it like a numbers problem. All you got to do is get to the number of tickets. Every day when you go into whatever job, you put whatever into the I'm gonna pay these tickets bucket. And every day that you keep that job and you don't yell at your boss and you put more money into that, I'm going to get my CDL back, that's the fight that you fight. You don't fight the feeling of I'm being disrespected. It's like, I'm not going to let that guy anger me out of another $25 toward them tickets that I got to pay. That's the hard target that you've got to hit. And in the meantime, while you're trying to hit that individual hard target, go to anger counseling, because I'm telling you, you don't have the right to create tornadoes in your children's heads. Quit spanking the children because you're not in the right frame of mind. You're dealing with anger about your situation. You know, if you're not in the right frame of mind, you will hurt them. Don't spank them at all. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I love how you put a period on chasing your pain. about how you don't go into his phone anymore and how you don't, because there's so much on your plate that you're trying to stay sane and reasonable. Rest assured, this man loves you. He just ain't got his act together. You know what I mean? So always remember that. He loves you. You have the right to be joyful. Do something that makes you happy, and you have to facilitate that. If she needs an hour every way, you know, when I was going through a thing, the woman who taught me tennis saved my marriage, my life, my kids, because I could whack that ball an hour every other day. She needs to whack a ball or two. And you need to keep the kids while she's whacking the ball, but you can't whack the kids. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you're a good dude, but remember, you're working towards the jar on that money. You're not fighting failure, you're just fighting that number. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to the both of you. This matter is adjourned.
Yes.